kick off our set.
A.B.A versus Ramlethal, North versus Central Florida, Edik versus Darián for our first match. Let's see it.
Yes, absolutely. That mid-screen range is going to be interesting at the round start here. Far slash from Darián is certainly a threat. We opt for 5K, something faster and far riskier because that counter hit, I'm telling you, Jade-Su, if that would have been a counter hit from A.B.A, it'd be a different story here. Immediate burst, Jealous Rage is the start here for Edik.
Yeah, there we go. Send it with the Jealous Rage. We're just trying to get anything off it. We had a decent amount of gauge, but now it's all spent. We're forced to uninstall in the corner, and now this is such a rough situation for Edik. No meter to their name. Had to use a little bit of FD, but the IAD out. No check from Darián.
Absolutely, with the close slash pickup, that's big opportunity. The stomp for overhead here because the rage mode. Let's add a little bit more of that Jealous Rage meter, and this is an even ball game here. But 100 meter on Ramlethal there, and I was gonna say, should have been a super call out here. You know that's usually the patented play here from Ramlethal players, but Edik looks like went for a sword toss instead.
Yeah, we had a lot of meter on Darián's side. I think maybe one layer too far, thinking, oh, they're going to respect my 100 meters so I can be a little bit more greedy. I ended up losing the round for it. You still have burst, but now you're stuck up against the corner against Edik, so burst out just to make sure they don't get a free install.
Trying to go for Rekka series there. Nice cross up, but a little bit too far to get a full conversion. Still got the jump in. There we go, 2H with the launch into Donzai. Nice 5K to convert for the shatter. Super should be finishing the job. It certainly does. First game for Edik.
Yeah, send it with a little keeper of the key action. I mean, after the comeback in that first round, it's hard to try and resettle off of the momentum. You're like, man, that round was in the bag. I had it, but, you know, just something to consider as we head into game number 2.
Absolutely. You know, that's the problem when you go up against A.B.A, right? It's just that pendulum swing of, all right, is she a Jealous Rage? Am I really controlling the pace of the match? Because sometimes it takes that lucky strike in Jealous Rage for A.B.A to really start steamrolling an opponent. And if they can actually utilize the resource pretty effectively, it's even harder for Ramlethal to kind of exude her offensive pressure, right? Especially when locked down in corner with the sword toss here. Windshield wiper for immediate shatter. We want this positive bonus here just to refresh on that burst gauge that we just used.
Yeah, we're just a little bit away from that 50, so we didn't get the hard knockdown off the round start, but there we go. YRC still 50 more in the bank, just trying to wait on this Jealous Rage, but catches out the attempt to swing with that Mortabato.
You're insane for going for that meter there. Honestly, that was such a big spend after YRC. The tension pulse, as you can see, really taking effect, but it doesn't matter. We still got the kill. No meter necessary.
Yeah, smart from Darián not to psych themselves out on an attempted burst bait either. The health lead was so big and the Jealous Rage was looking rough, so just gonna go for the kill, confirm the counter hit 5H. Let's burst out from Edik and gives you so much space to look for this Jealous Rage.
Absolutely. Let's at least approach a little bit closer. That guard cancel. Actually pretty beneficial there for Darián. We take the safety net for a drift backwards, but don't fall through. Believe in the counter hit. Does get the stagger pressure here. This guard crushed, but quite the 2K.
Behind him. Dash up after the down row. We got 50 meter in tow. Might have been a kill confirmed there, but Darián just committed to the stagger. We got throw RC for the kill. And after a heartbreaker of a game 1, we are tied up.
Absolutely. Nice way to clean it up here. A couple of windshield wipers to clean things up for Darián. Does pay off in spades. And even though we missed that opportunity for a full conversion off of that initial interaction with that slash, we still remain calm, cool, and collected in that corner before finishing the job here, because if we would have started to panic or would have overextended, Edik could have returned the favor. We didn't quite have Jealous Rage to pop right there, but if we did, we would have had like a potential Donzai to rip right through those mid-screen normals. I think that's such a beneficial factor for Edik here if we do make hard reads against Darián.
Yeah, you have the option to try and get through, you know, far/5H, these neutral dominating moves, but the scary thing about Donzai past the armor, it takes so long. But speaking of, in the time it took me to explain, Darián already just chewing through 50% of Edik's health.
Geez, he tried to go for the install here, and just a big slash coming from Darián.
You gotta remember that full screen's not safe against Ram, especially when she's sending it with the sword tosses, has all the meter behind it to follow up in case you need it. These counter hit starts have been doing the job 3 rounds in a row for Darián, and a perfect on top.
I think we just need to do a better job of picking and choosing when we activate Jealous Rage. We go for those far-reaching normals outside of that state, almost going for that full shatter conversion, but this burst actually getting you back to neutral, forcing Edik out of Jealous Rage.
wonder if we could have jumped out or tried to escape off the delay sword explosion, but still getting more to bottom for your troubles. It's a one-touch territory, especially with all this positive bonus meter.
Oh my goodness. Past the meter. Let's wrap this up. Oh, I got so scared. I thought we just dropped it. Wait a minute.
I was like, okay, we did the record for the wall splat. You have all the time in the world. I was like, wait, are you stuck in the animation too long to get the super wall break? Hopefully, you're not going to miss this chance. But there we go. Darián now with the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, had all the time in the world, but not that much time. It's just,
yeah, exactly.
You know, take it easy. Let's not take advantage of the gifts that you've been given here for your shatter pressure here. At 2-1 lead right now for Darián. Things are looking great. A little bit better than what we had in that game one. Of course, game one, I think we were still trying to get settled in. Darián was not even that far off from controlling the pace like we're seeing here in these last two games. We go for this game 4.
Yeah, it's funny. I think Sword Toss, you know, in a way is one of the things that lost us game number 1 on Darián's side. And now Sword Toss at the full screen when Edik generally feels, you know, comfy just going for these full screen installs is what's keeping the pressure on. So now that we have the corner, we get the install post burst. So Edik has to make the most of this, but still the jump out from Darián is clean.
All right, nice, got the flip. Should be getting this. Oh my goodness, doesn't even want the splat, just sends it.
Just get the hard knockdown where we can. Don't risk dropping the combo. Now 50% still available for Edik, but 0 in the Jealous Rage. And again, this flip kick brings us to the corner. Throw RC should be the kill with the Mortabot. Oh, I forgot about the scaling. My fault, my fault.
Spend some of that RC there, but we still got the tap dust. Again, just Darián being relentless in their offense, giving no breathing room to Edik, still allowing themselves a win.
Yeah, I can set point off of that tap dust as well. Send it with the key, that 5H coming out from Edik.
Jump in. Trying to snipe things out here with the slash.
Scary off the unsummon. I thought we were going to get caught out with a far slash there, but just waiting it out. Able to swap up the sides, but still a decent amount of Jealous Rage bar. If Edik is able to find an escape, we have burst, but yeah, okay. Just delay to make sure we don't get baited.
Just do the explosion. No beater, but windshield wiper for as much as we can. Reduce damage since we don't have swords, but this shatter is important because it pulls the swords back for Darián. That is a 3-1 victory here. Darián advancing with a strong showcase. A little bit of a shaky round 1 start, but that can be expected. You know, starting a little bit early here in the bracket, right? In terms of like if we want to go for Rock Oki, that might whiff out entirely depending upon how quickly you're setting that up or the distance really. So we'll see if we got some safe setups on the side of Mouqui as Clover steps into the arena as well. Disc, certainly going to be very potent here. If we can keep ramp locked out with no reversals outside of Mortabot, Clover's in for a good time.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's finding that first hit, right? Bram just has this absolute ground dominance in far slash 5H. Oh, I was going to mention, yeah, the air dominance as well with safe options like JP just to take to the skies and, you know, try and snipe out that approach from CloverDragon.
Morto already a strong lead here. Just a touch away, gave a little bit of a pushback on that faultless defense there, allowing for a 2K to come from CloverDragon. Tall mountain to climb. The close slash opens things up here. Actually, I think that was far slash animation. We didn't even get the close yet. We were a stance away.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was wondering if we caught a backdash, but it was a counter hit, and we catch out the Mortabot to the burst just to try and keep this round in the bag. Mouqui is a believer, but with no HP, no meter, and a 6P in your face, CloverDragon takes round 1.
Yeah, knocking on Death's Door, still able to finish the job. Good shutdown here from Mouqui. 6H, not quite close enough to corner, but excellent burst here from Clover. JS opens up, didn't believe in the JH.
Yeah, I didn't think that would be same side. I'm not going to lie, I got hit too on the same side, but 50 meter available now for Mouqui. Next hit should be that positive bonus hard knockdown.
Whoa. Massive cross up here. No slash pressure, that FD pushing away. And this PRC buys a little bit of time here to call out the flip, but the RC also gets blown up. CloverDragon smothering Mouqui with absolutely no corner.
3 resets in a row, an attempt to reversal, but you had no meter for it. Maybe try to mash out on a throw attempt, but either way, CloverDragon takes game number 1.
Yeah, didn't even have meter to go for a guard cancel. We try as we might to FD. Like, there was so many opportunities where we were trying to defend against this ram pressure from Clover, but Mouqui just could not find an answer. I mean, FDing was great in that corner scenario, but Millia can sometimes just ignore the defensive options you have there by navigating around it and really kind of screwing up where your block direction's facing.
Yeah, I like what we saw for CloverDragon towards the end there, saying, all right, I know the tension is high because you're on game point right now, so I'm just going to go for a bunch of resets back-to-back just to keep you on your toes. So now game number 2, looking for an IAD back JS, a couple straight hits.
Got our shatter, just going to let the slump happen, but mistimed the meaty. That's a back throw.
Yeah, whipping that close slash. Now you're getting tapped, dusted for your troubles off of the sword explosion. The purple beat CloverDragon down 50%.
We're not caught up after a single sequence here. JS does not call out the burst. That slowdown should have been enough time there for Clover to pump the brakes.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too early on the follow-up close slash afterwards. Now 50% still available here for Mouqui on the tension. Again, the neutral jump JP is really safe ways of keeping you back down to the ground. And the no!
Almost there, 2K, 2D. Not even just a JP come from Mouqui, but even JH as well. It's just been a wall of hurt boxes as Clover pushes for the corner and does close out the round. Had to spend a wild assault for it too.
Yeah. Anything to seal out the round, especially when it's that close. We've been doing a really good job, I think, of switching up the visual stimulus and the timing. You know, when the combo's over, when it's going to be another mixed situation. So there we go. It's the wall break here.
For the JH. A little bit of a side swap though. Put yourself in the corner with the PRC to go underneath and challenge against Mouqui, who tried to air dash there. The final burst opportunity.
There we go, sniped out of the skies, but again, another straight hit. Just looking for something off of that S disc. One more knockdown could be enough. Behind the back off of the JH. CloverDragon with the 2. Oh, and Slow Madness with the prime as well. Thank you for the generosity. All right.
Yes, indeed. As we step back into the lobby here for just a moment to kind of figure out how we can get this to work out, because there are some strong sequences coming from Mouqui. We just can't close out the set. Like, we had that great 6P out of the misdirection that Clover attempted in the sky towards the end there, but that counter hit wasn't even enough, where Mouqui still was able to find, or excuse me, Clover was still able to find an escape.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of have the pieces, but not the full game plan, right? I like the JPs just to try and take us out of the skies, but yeah, super committal on the round or the sword toss round start, especially in the mid screen, right? You don't have that explosion to back you up, so CloverDragon not getting too much off that wild assault.
5P here, nice push off the sword toss. It'll be quite a bit of time before the sword recovers, but we might not even need to worry about it. Shatter here, there it goes, super.
Mortabato action, 80% just chunked out of the HP now with that positive bonus. Behind the back off the flip kick. Holy, all right, I got hit too.
You got it, that's a round. You don't even burst either. That was it for CloverDragon, who's going into this potential game for Mouqui, who's already setting up pretty strong with a strong lead on burst gauge.
Mortaz just to keep it going all the way over to the other corner, and we get the wall splat too. That's Mortabato to keep it going.
Nice, great sequencing there. Just get that corner carry. Oh, missed the jump in, but still able to keep that close range pressure. Oh, nice dash here just to maintain that corner. Side swap one more time. YRC, get off of me, says Mouqui.
Out off of the 2H, trying to build a little bit of room with the FDs here, but ran out of all that meter. CloverDragon rocking a hard place, but no confirm off of that NTR 5P.
Same side. Shenanigans coming from Clover with the wild assault to corner carry. Yo, wait a minute. Wait, you did the quick dive. You go for a command dash as well. The left-right pressure coming from CloverDragon. One more touch away to close out the round. And oh my god, the Artemis calls out the throw. CloverDragon threading a needle with it here, catching up in terms of rounds.
Mirage Artemis is crazy, but going for a lot of these mixed sequences that are catching out, you know, maybe an immediate fuzzy tech, or just looking for something to, you know, catch those nerves from Mouqui. Now, set point for CloverDragon. There's one more burst available. When are we going to spend it? We hold on?
Now, I mean, that's crazy. Already got the shatter. It's do or die. It may be a gold burst attempt that we're going for here. Wild assault. Oh. Okay, this is the gamble. Mouqui wants to close it out with big damage. 50% intention. Good jump out. Nice JP.
Oh no, I like the attempt to confirm off of the air windshield wipers, but run up off the sword explosion. 5D Mortabato. We still have one more burst to worry about. I wonder if we hard commit to trying to bait it out. Against the corner here, we got the Rekkas, we got RC to keep the pressure on, and still 50 more meter for another RC. Burst out coming from Clover. This air backdash just to try and assess the situation, and RC back down to the earth.
Be careful on this chase. The JP there. Millia, aerial superiority as Mouqui tries to catch up, and Clover has a substantial lead. They could take a negative penalty if they want to, but it's still a long road ahead with 45 seconds unless we close it in with the JH. Nice finish with a 3-0 victory from Clover. If every one of you donated $1 or even just tweet it out, let folks know on social. Guilty Gear Strive Night every Monday on Tampa Never Sleeps. So we step into the arena with Kaneda and Monumin. We're going to get Sin alongside Mei, a very rare character nowadays.
Ooh, yeah, we got the matching color palettes too. We got Kaneda from Canada. I'm going to get that mixed up later on. I'll tell you what, I almost read that as Monumin on the other side, but we are moving with the burst, just trying to fight for this mid-screen dominance off of the split from the Mei.
Plenty of 6P attempts there. Got to be careful because the lingering hurt boxes off of a whiff 6P is certainly going to be extended for quite some time in this iteration as Monumin slowly closes the gap. H not going to connect, but yeah, this elk hunt certainly will into the Tyrant Barrel.
Monumental low from downtown. We have 50% available for the reversal super, but maybe not something you want to spend on counter hit far S. Clean confirm off of the Dolphin as well. Now we set up the beach ball. Clean block and the cross up overhead.
Slash, stand up for me, please. With the cancel, but what a DP! Kaneda with the tap dust to follow up. Launch it even higher. Yes. Like the lightning here from the shatter and the finish. Plenty of meter and great utilization of it from Kaneda.
Ooh, damn, the 5K from round start. Clean wild assault conversion. The believer for Monumin here as we charge up that 6H.
Oh, yo, trying to go for the beak driver. I can't believe it. 2K with the interrupt coming from Monumin. That's insane.
Ooh, there we go, IBFD. Monumin taking a second, they're like, what do I want to do here? I don't want to whip in front of your face, but if you're going to get the IBFD and not make anything of it, I'm going to run back up for the pressure, but still with that Sin HP, we survive the full charge 6H.
Woo. Nice finish here. Monumin with the perfect.
Ooh, 2K, I wonder what we caught from Kaneda here.
You know, if we had another interrupt on beak driver, I would not be surprised.
Right. Ooh, okay, looking for the 5H. Seeing if we can catch out that elk hunt. You know, it caught us in that first round, so being mindful of it, just put up the wall. Fast BRC, JP, nothing found off the overhead though. Kaneda strong in the defense.
Just get a little bit of that guard pressure here. That risk gauge is super jacked right now, coming from Monumin, but that's stripping away. 3K to chase a backdash? Smart. So I don't know, man. That was genius play here from Monumin, honestly.
Yeah, low behind the back with the 3K, that's really risky, right? If you're not if you're blocking that one, you know, it's incredibly punishable. But even the kill for Kaneda, but looking for a kill here off of the hoop stomp RC up against the wall. The charge 5D wall break takes game number 1.
Very close towards the end there in the final round, but boy, does Kaneda come out on top over Monumin here. Some very tricky stuff. I really dig that side swap. Like you said, such a risk to do so, especially without meter, but you get to pull out some crazy stuff now and again when your opponent isn't quite used to that.
They said bio exam tomorrow. We're watching TNS. I mean, you have marine biology, I suppose, on the screen. You have a feat of modern biology, considering Sin is like what, 3 years old, and he's like more buff than most of the folks in the chat.
Wait a minute,
included. That's not a slight on you guys.
Sin is 4, I'll have you know.
Oh, you're right. I forgot his birthday.
He's somewhere around there. Surely. Oh, trying to get the hook stop, but already had the fuzzy block set up anyways here from Monumin. Nice JP.
It's the first time that's actually worked out on Kaneda's guard, and now it's bringing us over to the corner off these quick RCs.
Jeez, nice 6P here. Driver for mid-screen.
Oh no, I was wondering if we were going to go for the air throw. Monumin just holding that, down back, I suppose you could call that in the air. There we go, trying to go for 2 overheads in a row. Nothing found, and a DP for Kaneda.
See, again, the quick run-up 2K. I'm insane. I got to double check how fast that is, because we're interrupting even like additional 6Ps, some big drivers.
Okay, single hit off of the elk hunt. We got 50 meter apiece. And not going to challenge off of that whip pipe piece. Safe jump. BRC for B. Whoa! Right behind the back, but it's still not going to be lethal here. Neither of them at that 50% range, so we don't have to worry about, wall break BRC.
Millia spent for the super. That's not close enough to the wall, so maybe just wanted better positioning there. Go IB.
Got the clean hit off too. Oops. Here we go. OTG close slash gonna take the kill. Kaneda. Another game on the board there. I was also wondering, Zero, when I saw like the super freeze, I was thinking we were gonna go for the Ride the Lightning, but even with the clean hit on that Tyrant Barrel, I got you the corner situation, so really not the worst thing in the world either way.
Absolutely. You know, I wonder if it was just a misread of the situation of like where we were positioned on the stage to get that shatter. But yeah, as you said, just the fact that we got that corner positioning, was able to maintain the offense, that's ideal, right? We're up 2-0. Yeah. It's the same situation that we had in our last set, right? Of just, yeah, our opponent is making strong call-outs here, but they're not capitalizing to the point of where it's becoming a threat. And Kaneda is still coming out on top. Granted, May can be threatening within her own right. She's very tricky to deal with in terms of that pressure. And just destroying hurt boxes is the key factor to her play. But Sin has some excellent reach, and yet still, these 2Ks, which I double-checked, 6-frame startup on 2K, so that's insane that it's coming out here fast enough to interrupt like the 6P and beat drivers that we get here from Kaneda to contest at mid-screen.
There we go, runs up off of the 2S, a little 6P action, but nothing to be found. Still catches out the way back down with that 5P, so that's burst out from Monumin.
She's too far with the 2P here, and yet Monumin finding the mark with 2K. Nice, let's go dribbling here as we fire off another Tyrant Barrel for hard knockdown.
Kaneda solid with the clean hits. We got that 100% success rate. We got that double close slash, catches out the fuzzy mash, the little stagger action, and now it's set point.
Okay, interrupt there. Able to corner carry, able to get our shatter for positive bonus to get back into the midpoint, 50% for burst, potentially after another positive bonus.
Dolphin split super is so sick. That conversion just to make sure you get the hard knockdown a little bit farther away from the corner than you would otherwise. Now 100 meter available for Monumin, but just gonna use it to jump back. Working out.
Tried to stagger the close slash here, but Kaneda's too quick with 2P. And very quick is that RC coming from Monumin.
Immediate. Yeah, now it's Ride the Lightning. We are not going to misjudge the distance on this one. We still wall broke off of it though. All the corner carry in the world, the hard knockdown, and it catches out the fuzzy mash from Monument. No burst to be seen just yet.
Oh no, Kaneda made a big bet right there. You may as well just set the combo. You don't have enough health to sacrifice there. Trying to go for the air throw.
I like the idea, but maybe just a little bit too, either a little bit too late, or May was just so low to the ground that it wouldn't have been able to, you know, catch it even with that jump startup. So now burst out Monument, trying to put one more game on the board, or one game on the board at all.
See here. Nice 5P anti-air.
Oh,
recognize the height on that
wall break. These will keep corner, yeah. Dolphin up dog. One more hit here for Monumin.
Let's go for close slash. We try to chase things down, but beautiful heavy slash coming from Monumin. And that is their first game up.
I was going to say, I really like the meter management from Monumin in that last interaction. We were doing a couple FDs, but not just holding the FD. We were trying to tap it, so we were using as little meter as possible to stay above that 50 meter threshold. Otherwise, if we didn't do that, that Dolphin wouldn't have had an RC behind it. It wouldn't have been lethal. We still would have needed one more touch. So Monumin, all right, warming up here as we head into game number 4.
Certainly going to need it here in this neutral, where Kaneda has usually... Wow, finally getting a 6P in the neutral start here against Monumin. Normally would have been low profile, but at least, or interrupted with the 2K.
Boom. All right, May's got pretty solid defense as far as HP and guts goes, but just chunk through the HP here off of the super with Kaneda. One more throw could be enough, but I'm thinking about the 60. Instead, it's 5D. Let's put Kaneda back on set point.
Jeez, Elk Hunt, round start with no meter. That's how we feel.
He's like, yeah, I got the calories behind it, bro. I'll be chilling. I'll send it. It's fine to spend a little bit of that MyFitnessPal, a little 5P to get a little bit more corner carry, but again, that DP out straight into the hoof stomp.
Going up here with the close slash. 5H and still continuing pressure with that wild assault reset for Red RC.
we go, 2K2D, a little Dolphin action to set up the Dolphin mid-screen. Still one more hit away from Monumin as we're building up that 50 for Kaneda. Any 2K, any 5P into an RC is going to be lethal, so you got to play this perfect. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
The idea was certainly there. We wanted to call out the PRC throw attempt with the super. Unfortunately, Monumin did not give chase to Kaneda. It was still a match point, though, despite Kaneda taking the round up. Jesus.
All right, caught up against the wall. I like the wall spot with the 5Ps. Still got 50 meter behind it for the round start, but okay, not going to go for BRC. Walk back Dolphin.
Dolphin send, able to attack with 2K after the throw.
Age, any straight hit's gonna be enough. We have Dolphin RC pressure to start it out, but 5K caught out by the Elcon, a little low profile action. Kaneda still needs 2 more good hits to bring this round back.
Jump in here thanks to the hard knockdown, and the BRC will slow down the hook stomp, give an open target for a 5P to interrupt it, and victory for Monumin as 2 all in the set. And I think you're right. I think Monumin really took that last couple games, whether to their benefit or detriment, it will be decided this next game to really figure out how to face off against Kaneda.
And I was gonna say, that's a scary BRC point, right? You're like, you know, pretty close to having the momentum swapped in your favor. You still had a decent life lead, but, you know, if you're a little bit too late, you know, you might get opened up by the hoof stomp, then brought back into the corner once again. I thought it would be super RC, but Monumin, you know, playing optimal as we head into game 5.
Oh, jeez. Trying to play the actual footsies just a hair's breadth away from a beat driver to the face.
Holy. Full charge to 6H once again. We're going to be pretty quick on the meter right now. Again, the run up on the 2K to catch out that preemptive Elcon.
Out here. Corner carry, close slash to the H. Just get the tyrant barrel.
Hawkbaker, this guy is cooking with the clean hits. 3 for 3 at least on Kaneda's side. Waiting for the calories to come back up, but sniped off of the backdash. Now 100 meter to your name, but barely any HP in the game.
H just for a little bit of extra damage on that shatter. 50% meter on the side of Monumin. And what an interrupt!
I did not think 2S would reach. I actually thought it was going to go right under. No, okay. Spent the meter, but that's burst down. One less thing to worry about for Kaneda, but the meter advantage for Monumin is insane. The threat of the run-up RC, you can bait it, but just go straight into the super. Smart meter usage once again from Monumin to put them on set point.
Take charge again. That lingering hurt box off 6P does get challenged, but Kaneda does not care. Full set with Wild Assault to get our shatter and nearly a 50% life lead.
Oops. Go, big driver off the follow-up. We still got RC behind it. That positive bonus to just resource shuffle. Wait for the calories to come back up, but nothing found off of this 6K.
Excellent DP there.
Yeah. Okay, a little 2S. Not going to catch a Dolphin here, but Hawkbaker again.
PRC, nice. And still, the delay pressure allowing for a throw attempt here. 6K. Keep you locked in with a +3 button on that one. Ooh.
There we go. Just going for these counter poke 5Ks. Too crazy. A pretty safe button to throw out here for Monumin and just waiting it out off of the DP. Nothing to be baited. Nothing to be bursted until later into the combo. Still looking for a bait. Now Monumin has you 1 touch away from that loser's side. Okay, maybe 2.
Let's get that 6P. Run up throw. Pump fake at the 5P. Does go for the stomp.
You honestly might have died for that with the meter behind it, but the IAD back JH, all the letters in the world, keeping you high up in the sky for this reverse sweep. What a monumental win here for Monumin. I was gonna say, like, she kind of has the buff. It's her month. There's like 2-3 more weeks in it where she has just a little bit more, you know, character flair. I guess it's May night, right? I'm assuming, but the first Axel that we're seeing as well here up on the stand on MiggityMack's side. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is Connecticut. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know they're East Coast.
Jeez. At least a toss up here. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup because there's so much space control from Axel that can really shut down a lot of the startup of Totsugeki anyways. 2H is going to be a great button. 5P will be great just at a particular distance because max range, I believe Totsugeki will just won't for sure run right under it, but you can at least get that whip punish off of the mid-screen. Big damage here with Shiny Whalmer.
Yeah, I see the Connecticut squad pulling up. No, you're good. I see 3 Let's Go Miggities as Miggity is getting perfected, but maybe you check over to the side, you're like, right, I'm doing it for my scene. I gotta, the low profile on that 2K, catching out the J2H on the other side. Okay, Mac.
Well, assault, couple close slashes with Rainwater to follow.
Ooh. Oh my god, the whip JH into the empty 2K. That's tricky, bro. I got.
Tornado pressure to throw. Oh my god.
Ooh, yeah, drop on the JP there. Could have gone all the way over to the other side, but good here. StitchFace still gets one more opportunity to fight back. Spend it on the Wild Assault because MiggityMack believes in the round. Charge up the Tornado for the OTG.
JP there. Stops just shy with the Totogeki. JP opens up against MiggityMack here with the overhead kiss.
TG5H times you for the H Dolphin and still able to bring the round back. StitchFace to the brink of defeat takes game number 1.
Oh, very terrifying here. I mean, quite the run here from MiggityMack. Again, StitchFace certainly has like the capacity to close that gap against Axel, but MiggityMack trying to keep May away can be a little bit tricky. It really does. I feel like the snowball effect favors May, certainly far more than it would for Axel, because she only needs to get it once, and you're already doing a ton of work that Axel needed several openings to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're mentioning, he has the normals to contest the Dolphin, but you know, maybe this round start a little bit scary, right? You're like, oh, May is still closer than I'd like her to be. Speaking of the 2K, Chat's talking about it on Axel's side, but it opens up MiggityMack, the charge tornado, but still, no, you had to wait.
Oh, got the counter hit, immediate burst here, tornado setup, and nice, actually. While rising, JH.
JH action, dash cancel off of the Rensen.
Good block here from Stitch.
Damn, again, yeah, that J2H getting low profiled by the 2K. I like that from MiggityMack. Surely there's a May in their scene that's taught them a little bit of that matchup knowledge.
Here with this tornado with no room. We're trying to whittle away at the resources. Then RC. JD, it's enough to finish the job.
See, I was scared. We dropped the JP conversion in the mid-screen earlier. That could have been the game win, but StitchFace locked in here 3 rounds in a row.
Oh my god.
Behind the back. Oh, behind the back again. What side are you on? Same side this time. MiggityMack says, all right, hold on now. Let me get a little bit of space with this burst. Pull up with the JH.
Here. Oh, what jump timing here. The red Zen gonna miss entirely.
There we go, the split just to get a little extra corner carry without breaking the wall just yet. One more split into the air. Super send out the whale for game number 2. All right, StitchFace, that was kind of a sauced up combo. I gotta be so for real with you.
Oh, man.
Money Hopper killing me. Yeah, we're so Counter-Strike on these May confirms right now.
Especially, what's crazy is we're seeing 2 different styles, but also utilizing the dolphin hop to continue extended challenges here and really kind of temper expectations. And as you said earlier, just the fact that we're destroying those options where Miggity would try to make call-outs here with buttons in the mid-screen, just not going to work out. Closing the gap, nice throw.
I also like the adaptation that we're seeing from StitchFace, right? A lot of times after the split, we're going for the Axel 2K to low profile at J2H. Instead, going for the normal falling sweep with that JP and counter hitting on the other side. So, only got 50% on the burst here for MiggityMack, but charge up the tornado. And we got some split shenanigans of our own here with the empty low. No.
Okay, wait a minute. Maybe wanted to go for the left-right situation here, but having to pick up the pieces. Ooh. Fake out on the dust. We've seen it so many times before. With fake out with the low. PRC fast.
Nah, I got. I saw the orange. I was like, me personally, I'm standing up. But the PRC StitchFace now on set point here. MiggityMack, can we put one game on the board?
Okay, ooh. Nice. Oh, just want to get closer to that corner. Stagger with the close slash. Big damage opportunity. Good lord, it killed.
Okay, we are optimized on the split confirms. I saw the hit and I was like, oh, Man, MiggityMack is going to be in one touch. It's almost chip damage territory. Definitely lethal off a throw. Already know this feel. It's free money as we head into our next set. pearlbot versus Wozgozz.
I keep seeing Wozgozz, and I think of the YouTuber.
Oh, Scott the Woz? Yeah. I think of the same thing. It's also where my brain goes immediately.
Wow, Johnny's so strong.
Welcome back.
He erased an entire desert. That's crazy.
I was gonna say, he like teleported from Las Vegas all the way to Council of 3. That's what YouTube intros feel like sometimes though. I'm not gonna lie. Like you open up a short and you've like moved 3 contexts already. I'm like, is this what they're trying to train my brain to understand? All right, anyway. Heading on into it, some Johnny versus A.B.A.
With the 6 black Heaven's Guns as the track here, Wozgozz gonna catch the first strike coming from pearlbot to start this off.
I said this matchup is ass. I wouldn't believe it, right? I think A.B.A. is not going to have any comfortable opportunity. Okay, as I say that, we immediately just go into full screen. It's all right. See, my bad, pearlbot.
You got to think about the big picture A.B.A. Don't think about A.B.A. pre-jealous rage. Do not forget, she is a woman scorned. She will devastate any man on the screen.
No, but this man stands strong over here in the corner. That jealous rage running out. Didn't find an opportunity to uninstall. That's the other scary thing, right? You don't have safe opportunities to try and disengage when this character, Johnny, right? He has some of the longest reaching normals in the game and one of the fastest dashes as well. No catch on the backdash even with the PRC.
Yeah, look at that forward dash coming for A.B.A. You leave yourself so vulnerable. And Woz is at the commit, but actually you kind of do with the small life lead in favor of Pearl, now dwindling away with this misfires. Oh no.
Yeah, intertwined from downtown, catching out on the extended hurt boxes, but catching out on this hurt box right in front of you. That counter hit close S.
Ever closer. And sitting right on top of that guard crush. You saw the movement there from Woz, trying to make sure that pearlbot doesn't have an opportunity to escape from this offense. Big, heavy slash.
Downtown. This gives us so much jealous rage as well. We have all the time in the world here to look for any one opening. You do not have a lot of health left on Wozgozz's side. Oh, blocking the fuzzy. Left though. One more touch. 8 seconds on the clock. We might see a timeout in Guilty Gear Strive. Pull up for the... Wait. Oh, but it's still not enough. You need one more touch.
Oh, the jump! Oh my god! Pearlbot just stole it out here, and that's why we kept sequencing in that corner, keeping the block pressure up to maintain that lead. You have no opening for Woz to steal it back.
That's so unfortunate, because we didn't even have any extra meter to like RC and get a better conversion. Wozgozz did the best that they could with that stray hit, but it still wasn't enough. That's like the first timeout I've seen in like years in Strive, but definitely not going to let it go to time here with pearlbot just chewing away at the HP.
And you know what's even better is the fact that we kept that burst for that last round here. It's certainly going to come up in this round at the very least, because, wait a minute, Pearl, you could have burst back from mid-screen, but opts to just accept fate, accept the shatter. And this is live, apparently.
Wait, that was beautiful routing coming out from pearlbot. Sends it with the 5H, knowing that you need a heavy counter hit just to try and stay alive in this jealous rage, but still, you know, forced to uninstall in the corner here. But all right, clean block on the overhead misfire as we get scooped.
Really unfortunate. We were caught with very little resources here on that jealous rage meter, and there it is. Johnny with the super Wozgozz putting a round on the board.
Yeah, how is there a timeout on a Johnny versus A.B.A match? Yeah, these are two characters that just want to kill you, right? This is not like, you know, 1,000 paper cuts. Like, I'm also very surprised that we got to see it, but round number 3, behind the back with the JH. Not a lot of time left on the jealous rage, so yeah, that double dash just to pull up on the uninstall. I wonder why we walked back here for Wozgozz.
Just wanted to get that spacing zone here for a misfire, and we're currently pretty well with that. Nice. Actually blessing the dome with a misfire for the skies. And Singa just for the shatter.
Yeah, it does so much base damage. Really good wall break ender. We got 50% available for any one last touch. Tries to send it. You might as well have the blue wild assault, but nothing found. The double dash throw, and we send it with the deal. Wozgozz. Game number 1.
With the fast PRC to boot, trying to make that route. That's insane here coming from Pearl. Or, excuse me, from Woz.
Yeah. Yeah, it was looking rough in that first round, but definitely able to bring it back. The chat says, this is a problem for Pearl. No jealousy to get the juices going on this girl. I mean, you know, again, I was thinking this would be a much more dominant looking, at least game number 1, right? We have all these Mistfinders to keep you at bay in the mid range. If you're a little bit too patient, then we get to set the card. Even if you have some of these parries to maybe make a hard read on those Mistfinders, risk reward, you're losing a lot of space, maybe for a little bit of Jealous Rage. But I think Pearl is finding good opportunities to, think, oh, okay, they're trying to stagger their pressure a little bit, add in these delays. I'm gonna, take advantage of that timing to install, but just not able to close out.
Yeah, I think that is the problem, right? We do have that command dash that you're referring to, at least, or just the parry stance to build up meter, and just the timing. Where Wozgozz is spacing themselves away. Oh, nice. Got the counter hit, but nothing else after the immediate burst. The 5K interrupt. Here's our deal for Guard Crush, and actually going to get the full opener with that cross under. Wozgozz ready for it.
Run up, 2K. Yeah, we get the wall splat for it too. Joker trick.
Slash there. Full sequence, and look at the position we're in. Massive lead. We don't have to try to give chase. There's missed RC.
There we go. Intertwine, PRC. Even if it doesn't land, it just got us so much distance out of the corner, and it finds us the hit that we need. We're looking for an uninstall. Just barely enough. Oh my god. It was like a pixel left in the Jealous Rage.
Take away here. There's the 2H. Just get a little bit of a dash up here.
No!
But this is okay, though. This is a fine position to be in, though, because you're not too far away from corner. Unfortunately, we got to deal with the pressure from Johnny that catches the backdash. You see? Good things come to people who wait.
Yeah. Patience coming out here from pearlbot. Sends it with the Blue Wild Assault, but you're still 50 burst up after the, burst. But still, now you're stuck in the corner here without a, particularly surefire way of getting out.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. We do have some FDs, but you're still putting Johnny in an excellent spot to go for the Mistfinder. Hard Jealous Rage activation, goes for the guard cancel, finally battering our way out of this corner. JH cross up.
Oh, no, just barely not able to get the key grab. So, yeah, you needed that to sequence yourself into the last hit. You needed to kill. But again, intertwined PRC. Wozgozz ready for the close slash. Now we got the Mistfinder Ender. One more touch, 100 meter to try and find a hit. But these TK Mistfinders have not been working on Pearlbot.
At the very least, we got caught by one of those. And that was in game... Hold on, that was in game 1. It still says 1. We're in game 3, right? Here we go.
Round apiece.
He's gonna get this guard crush here. With another one here to push back the corner.
Dash cancel, maybe trying to bait out something from Pearlbot, maybe looking for a parry, but still, we haven't seen that much this set. Again, it's not worth the Jealous Rage when, if you're a little bit wrong on it, you're getting counter hit by Johnny. Scary, but we still find the back throw.
Slash pressure. Oh no, you were right there. You had the right read, Pearlbot, but nothing to boot after. It could have been a throw. Could have at least jailed out with JP. Now you're paying the price, allowing for Wozgozz to escape out of that corner with Super and Shatter. Not enough to kill, but look at this. All the meter in the world, and ooh.
Okay, I like the idea off of the deflect shield. Anything with the resources that you have left, FD, you have to avoid the chip damage scenario. One more tech, and you have the RC just to make sure you get the confirm after the unsummon. A little bit more left.
Okay, taking the 2S conversion here. A couple stonks, but yeah, we trade out with that 2K. That was a valiant effort coming from Pearlbot here. I can't believe we're only in game 2. Like, wait a minute. Like, what happened in these sets that we're only going to the 3rd game right now?
If you had told me going into this set, we're going to see a timeout between these two players, between these two characters, I would be like, I don't know if I 100% believe you. But even, that game number 2, where it feels like we've seen almost an entire set's worth of interactions already, it's like something about the way that they're slowing down the pace of the game without, it's not because they're dropping conversions or not getting the most damage out of their hits. It's just, oh, okay, I have the respect of when you're in this, Moroha stance, and I'm trying to, build up my space however I can.
Yeah, that's been the whole tale of this match, honestly, of just Wozgozz will take a substantial life lead and just wait. That's fine. You're going to have Jealous Rage full screen. Go for it, because I will actually throw out Mistfinder on top of the deal that I've already set up. I'm in a position where even if you jump and air dash towards me, I have the anti-air low ground, basically, that I can make that solid call out here. Wozgozz is doing an excellent job of just kind of backing off away from Pearl, to negate the fact that she's going to have, A.B.A will have a lot of pressure opportunities if you stay close.
Speaking of staying close, immediately going for the intertwine. We already start off with so much Jealous Rage. We get the wall break, no key grab, but we still got 50% left. We got all the time in the world to kill.
Stop. Excellent block. Ooh.
Slow it down. There we got the uninstall though.
And this is why Wozgozz keeps that distance game. Like, what is Johnny to do in this series of events here where we don't have an RC to our name to push out? We had meter to try to challenge it, but 5K is the start.
There we go, looking for the throw bait off of the Insengo, but I like the mash out from pearlbot after that. Patience, just waiting for it. Now it's burst down from Wozgozz, slows the corner situation. Dude, TK Mistfinder has not worked a single time on pearlbot, I feel like. Oh,
it was only in game one. It was only game one. We got caught one time, and then after that, just never again.
Yeah. Just run down that Jealous Rage. Now we're uninstalled in the corner. We have all the time in the world just to set up that card set. Nothing found off intertwine.
With the long distance deal that had already been set up here, because of the vault included, Wozgozz will take a round back in kind. I can't believe we didn't get caught for a whip punisher. That 5K recovered just in the nick of time.
Oh, there we go, yeah. Not TK Mistfinder, but the double overhead instead off of that IADJH. We are chipping away at the health, building up so much meter, and all of these cards and Mistfinders finally snap us through the glass.
Nice 6K with the massive anti-air.
With the What's My Name, just trying to make sure we don't even have to worry about the burst. You still live? Oh my god, there's like a single pixel left.
What is even there? I can't, there's nothing there. Just wild assault. Yeah, just give me the round, please. Thank you.
Said send it. I'm trying to be in Mistfinder range, in far slash range, but wild assault does the job. All right.
Yeah. Goldlewis also showing up too.
Exactly.
Throw a coffin
Lolo has
around
been on this character since drop. Yeah. So, you know, this is a character expert. I'm actually kind of surprised to see these gamers fighting it out, you know, relatively early, but maybe this is fighting for that top 48 spot.
Pretty close. By the way, already has pile bucket for Shatter here.
Yep. Sent to the wall here, looking for a little backdash action. The spaced out low, but Lolo waiting on the other side. Deflect shield. Tries to go for the run up here, a little greedy.
Another one here after the dash cancel. Oh, try to be very sneaky with the heavy after Dandy and just not going to be able to leap over the drone. And this is a top 48 qualifier here, folks. Wait, how long was guard cancel out there?
I thought that was going to catch the end of the deflect shield, and I was like, oh, such a smart bait from Lolo. I was like, why is it still active? Why did Clone take the round?
Double spend. I spent both halves of my first gauge for that one. It was 100%. Oh my god! Whoa! The backdash into the god's hand.
Oh, okay, a little backdash to avoid the low check. Nothing found here from Lolo, but finds the anti-air 5P clone to bring us back into the mid-screen. The cross-up, the BRC.
That's radiation. I would never put that inappropriate content on the internet. On a TNS channel.
I would, but I just wasn't the silly little guy with the brain cells at that moment. But damn, the 268 ties it up here for Lolo.
Nice IB here. Guard crush. Still got the 5. You know what? We're talking about whip punishes here, and boy, Clone had an understanding of how those hurt boxes landed. JK cross under. Got a little bit topsy-turvy on that one. There's that gold burst, positive bonus, full set with the drone. 2D, that was a big bet coming from Clone there. If that didn't hit, the drone would have stopped you. Ooh, you know what?
Yeah, there we go. Avoid the super. Do we have the kill? No, we don't have any more meter behind it, but we got counter hit to a... No! Yes!
Lolo, bring it in real quick. Lolo, you are getting mixed up right now. I need you to step it up. I need you to lock in. Understand that your ankles are being broken, okay? You're on the N1 highlight reel, and it's kind of embarrassing. You know, if it were me, I'd be embarrassed.
Here in the coach's corner, I'm not really a basketball guy, but you know, I'll watch playoffs with the fam while they're watching it during dinner, and just seeing the amount of timeouts and like ad breaks, it's really, you know, the value of a coach and taking a little break has become apparent to me as we head into game number 2.
Yeah, you know, take a breather. And do the kids know about And One highlight reel? That's a great question. I keep bringing it up just to hope no one forgets.
There we go, JD counter hit from all the way downtown. Looking for a throw right there, but instead, yeah, the backdash cancel coming out from Clone doesn't really get you too much.
Jeez, a little bit too early on the media. The BRC to slow things down in favor of Clone with the BSU. There we go, 2H pickup. See, that's what I'm talking about, Lolo. You just needed to see. That's coaching by Zero right there. Clean. Did I say anything that was mind-boggling or opening? No. It was mostly disrespectful, and I apologize. But look at how good Lolo is doing.
You know, sometimes the skill of a great coach is knowing what a player needs to operate their best. And it seems like Lolo operating on 200% right now. A little frame trap off the BT. Oh, but we whipped the third BT. We're looking for the Mappa Hunch with this super, and we send it. It didn't kill?
Okay, you know what?
What? It didn't reach? Check her controller, help! Oh, okay, JK on the other side.
Oh, thank God.
I was gonna say, if that one whipped and we still had to fight for that last hit, I'd be like, Lolo, please, lock in. But there we go. Locked in the tie-up here.
That's all we needed. Just a little pep talk. We got schmixed like crazy. Lolo cleaned it up.
All right, so what's the pep talk for Clone now? Now we go to the other side, you know, the other coach's corner. We saw Clone's avatar look over at the, you know, kitchen sink real quick. What are they thinking? How do we, you know, try and bring this back?
Well, listen, I don't know what Lolo is doing over there. They're absolutely clueless when they're trying to pressure you. I don't understand. Like, they shouldn't be hitting you like this. That's what I said. You were on plus frames. Why did they do that? That's crazy. They just let a super rip? Unbelievable.
All right, let's see if the advice works. Already a gold burst coming out from Lolo, but makes that next hit that Clone might be able to land so much scarier. BWA to the BSU, send it with the Bloodsucking Universe, but again, another knockdown for Lolo.
And it's the 2P interrupt after the side swap. Lolo is in control now. Guard cancels, gets crushed. Send it over to JD, counter hit. We didn't even need the super. That's a Lolo.
Lolo, but the damage looking high. Another round on the board here. Neutral jump, but yeah, JK barely any block stun, or hit stun rather, so no full confirm.
Stop. The 2P. Nice. Jump away from the hammer. That's Slayer trying to, you know, figure out how are they going to get out of this situation. I'm in quite the predicament. I am dying. I've tried left, right, and Clone. It's looking dire. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, I like the spaced out BT just to try and stay safe in case we're looking for a super, but all right, lots of meter on both sides. No RC off of the Mappa Hunch.
Let's get the side swap in the pile bunker. Close slash.
Oh!
Does a convert. Trying to 6P, but still got the low with 2K. And again, opened up there.
Behind the back.
Trying to survive another. Yo, you know what? That's tough. Honestly, security gauge, what could you really do, Cloned? Out of meter is the unfortunate thing, right? So we didn't have a YRC opportunity. We FD for our lives. And when Goldlewis has that meter to go for another Behemoth Typhoon like that, it's just, you're rolling the dice on the next interaction, right? It's just, do they actually make that spend? Or am I good and careful to just block low at that point?
Yeah, it's kind of a terrifying situation. You know, we saw Sin earlier on the stream as well, right? And I'd called him one of these resource shuffle characters. Goldlewis, you know, in this patch in particular, also falls kind of into that archetype, right? Okay, you have meter, and you can use meter to keep your pressure up. As your pressure is going, you wait and you build up security gauge. You have security gauge, you have BT cancels, and now you're building up more meter on the... Oh, okay. But we're looking for a little bit too much meter here, Lolo. Gold Burst is not going to work twice in a row on Clone.
Clone with the color swap here. 5K and a 2D. Didn't even hit on the block, but at the very least, full send 2D connects here. Neutral jump.
Ooh, yeah, tried to go for the swing on the air BT, but nothing to be found. A little bit too far forward for your own good, but still the 2P. Yeah, we've been looking for a lot of these TP throughs off of the dash from Clone.
Massive damage here. Lolo really catching up against Clone, who has been absolutely killing on the mixed pressure. Calls out the drone immediately with this RC to make sure we can defend after.
Go. the hunch from downtown. We got pile bunker loops on the backside. Ooh, it keeps you in the corner, but yeah, you're not going to be able to block after this close slash. It's 10. All right, never mind, my fault.
It's close. Come on. Shoot.
All right, she's chilling though. She's still staying alive. Even with the Slayer HP reduction, we got the JK, the rise, the fall, and the minigun pulled out here. The GAT for Lolo puts him on set point.
That full screen range here with very little resources. Clone had a hard time surviving, and yet again calling out the teleport. Lolo just been mashing that 2P, and rightfully so.
There we go, fast RC, trying to see what we can catch from Clone, but brought back down to earth. A little 6P action.
Push getting closer to backdash, but into 2H after that with 2K coming from Lolo. Cloned is dominating this corner. Pile bunker with the shatter, sends the super. Whoa.
Super Mappa hunch, a little SMH my head. Ties up the rounds here. Still set point for Lolo, so a scary situation, especially when you're down on the burst, but just trying to, you know, run down the timer.
Jeez, wild assault here. Doesn't open up. Here's your pile bunker again. Oh my god, the damage output here. Cloned is locking in, trying to tie it up. Needs one more interaction to do so. And again, we tried to go for the hammer over the drone, but we missed out on first game. Does call the delay on the guard cancel this time around with Lolo. Super hard knockdown. Both players. One about to cross that threshold in the top 48 if they can close this out. Ooh.
Fighting for that top 48 qualifier, and Lolo stamps his claim with the 3-1. I mean, maybe they can check the start.gg and see that you guys are pulling up for Guilty Gear Strive every Monday night. And of course, players like Blueheck and Lurry giving us such amazing action, but claiming those codes gives them a little bit more assurance as well as we head into game number 1.
Yeah, the more codes that get used up, and as long as they're consistently used up, it opens up more opportunities to give back to the players who are competing week in and week out. So please continue to push for that, as it does help out way more than you know.
Saw a little pause off the round start there, but you know, take your 10 paces and then head into the duel once again. That's burst out from Lurry, caught up off of the banana peel. It's okay, post burst, we have the trumpet, so that gives us so much room to just run out of the corner.
Jeez. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold on to young Faust here to get the tap dust. Come from Lurry with the close slash pressure in corner. Jesus. Didn't just want to run up and do a ton of damage to you, Lurry. Like, what? Why are you so afraid? Nice DP out.
Yep. Blue Hack with the blue RC. Now we got you up against the corner here. Not quite going to break the wall just yet. No, we still got the peak driver, so it's not hard knockdown. We were just barely off that 50, but getting that positive bonus, Blue Hack will absolutely take that.
Jeez, what a fast PRC. 2K was the only thing to open up, as we had far too many mids dispense coming from Lurry here after the PRC teleport. 5K locking Blue Hack into the corner here with Mini Faust to assist. Shimmy, not working, but the tap dust will.
Had to try and escape somehow. Still the burst. Yeah, not going to bring Lurry out to that full screen, so Blue Hack no way to escape the corner. We even tried to fuzzy jump earlier, but ended up getting caught back down to the ground. I like that close slash from Lurry to make sure Mini Faust does his job.
Stop here, beat driver, just continue pressure after.
Winded out off of the 6K, nothing found off JD. What? Wait. The late active frames of the bomb actually let you continue? I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were entirely gonna avoid it with the cinematic, but all right, works out well for Lurry, but not well enough to escape the corner.
Yeah, it does get to IB right after, but Beak Driver's already active here, shutting down the YRC attempt. A little bit too late on that reaction.
With the BTs. Yeah, but still spaced out off of the Beak Driver. Instead, Sin taking a couple lessons from that previous set. I like it.
Oh, he's got the 5K. Nice extension. Watch out for the bomb. Okay.
A couple haircuts in between the explosions, and now we send the bomb back. All the love in the world off of this grounded approach. And the trumpet, too. Caught out with the 5D, but no meter spent behind it.
All sorts of shenanigans here with JP to at least get the trumpet for a full session of recess here. Now we're just going for zone again. There's no need to approach until we get a safety net. Like we have here with more trumpet play. Lurry in control with the blue wild assault to finish the job to negate the burst opportunity.
All right. game number 1. I mean, it was a rough start, especially off of that round number 1, losing burst so early, especially with Sin having you up against the corner and not full resources round start, but with so many calories to spend, you're like, oh man, I have to watch out for so many things and, you know, my way to try and escape the corner. Still takes game number 1 though.
Yeah, and I think that massive win was when Blue Heck decided to spend that burst so late in that first round. That kind of evened the playing field for both of them and let Lurry kind of run the set in terms of being able to item toss to continue that pressure and the quarter up until the very end.
All right. Let's see if we can tie it back up here on Blue Heck's side here for game number 2, but got that 12 months tier 1 sub from Air Claws. Thank you, thank you.
Just massive.
Speaking of massive counter hit, the immediate burst out and Lurry looking for that 2H. I thought the bomb was going to keep it up with the mix, but still, really good start here for Lurry.
Bounce away. Afro state. Nice. Wait a minute. The anti-air interrupt and drops right to the throw. Close slash to call out the Hawk Baker. Oh, missed the shatter.
PRC!
Oh no, that's a explosion guard crush. There we go.
You could not have asked for better items. The bomb, the meteor shower, and the mini Faust behind it, but it ended up comboing you instead, Lurry. This would be a heartbreaker of a round to lose. And I like that side swap going out from Blue Heck off of the Elcon too.
Nice backdash away, and we just keep running to avoid the drop. Full extension here. Just hold the cross under. Wait a minute. We're getting a little fancy with it with the wild assault here. Blue Heck doing everything they can to try to finish the job, but because we're locked into FD, Lurry sends the dust.
Yeah, we tried to go for cross up low. I wonder if like a micro dash 2K might have been a faster way of going about that. So that 6K actually gave Lurry quite a bit of time to react there in the scramble. Speaking of scramble, it's 5Ps trading, giving Lurry the opportunity to toss the items, only to give you the trumpet for Blue Heck to keep pressure on.
Go, got the stomp. Full slash with Hawk Baker to launch here. Doesn't have the meter, but the very least, we exchange scenes here with a massive life lead. Jesus, good call out once again from Lurry.
Okay, 2H, item toss super. We got so many wigs, and we got the hairdo mini Faust. The banana peel's not gonna save you though.
You drop the hammer crossing that side, actually stopping the offensive pressure coming from Blue Heck. That saved Lurry a shatter.
Watch this, Scarecrow PRC, air throw. Oh, he lives.
Way, drop the hammer, not gonna save you this time.
I know you're not happy about that one. If you're Lurry's side, just barely the pixel, but not able to close out that burst. Keeping Blue Heck alive here.
The interruption here, bombs away. Building up at that risk gauge, but the stagger in that pressure allows for a throw. And all the better because then Lurry avoids the explosion, gets to maintain that corner. Slash.
Go the mash out. Yeah, I like the 6B challenge. Not gonna let you get away with the free mix.
It's away here. Watch for trumpet, but 2K. Actually, forget the trumpet here. I'm gonna go for this corner. Nice shatter for hard knockdown. Lurry is looking good in this round.
Yeah, we send it with the wheelchair. Just bite straight on through the pole. Trying to stay alive here for Blue Heck. Not trying to get that 2-0 lead just yet, but started off with that ride the lightning. It's okay, you got PRC behind it, but it's a big spend on the 100 meter.
PRC catches the backdash with that close slash. Taking a micro step forward here. Nice. Counter hit, full extension.
Combo! Ooh, okay, I like the 5H, the multi-hit, just to make sure that we're consistent. We're clean with the wall break, but 2H, it strips the burst, but it's not enough.
Give it here. Full send has enough resources to get the kill. Blue Heck will tie it up.
Yeah, man, 2 heartbreaker round losses from Lurry, where victory seemed all but assured. I like the routing into the Blue Wild Assault, but still not enough damage off the subsequent hits to really lock out of the burst. I mean, it was the best you could do in that situation, and then burst it into the corner. Again, against Sin with resources, it's spooky.
Absolutely. It just these strong callouts that Lurry is making. Just the fact that we are brave enough to pull out these 2Hs the way that we have been is insane. Massive counter hit to start here for Blue Heck, though.
Ooh, yeah, I like the 2H to try and catch the attempt to run up on that trumpet, but dash block is clean.
Here. Mini Faust set up here once again, 100 tons, and it's just relentless for Blue Egg as we rip a DP, but watch the banana does get crushed. Okay.
A little 2K action, super PRC to try and catch out that 2S. Boom!
Yes. A little bit of a shimmy action there, no challenge from Lurry. We're starting to respect those interactions, but that was a stand block. Could have been that low once again coming from Lurry.
Dash block action catches out the intent of the 5P. Okay. Trade with the beak driver. That's not the worst thing in the world off the 100 ton. Alright, round 2 to Blue Heck.
Not quite close enough for the beak driver, though. Tried to catch the recovery potentially off the toss. I think Lurry would have been able to block nonetheless. DP out. Frank killed 5P.
Tapping on through with the 2S. Ooh, run up 6P. Yeah, it avoided the J2K, but it also put you in the corner. Damn. Overhead action here. Clean confirm off of the RC 5D.
Dash up here after the Gazelle step. And yet Lurry still finding a way to push out.
Back it up off the air back dash, looking for something, but nothing found off of the command grab attempt here from Lurry. That's BWA down.
Lee's got the 2H, the 2K anti-air, and unfortunately not going to pick up the conversion. Meteor Shower only goes so far here for Lurry.
Awkward scramble.
Oh my goodness. I wonder if we attempted a DP there and just did not get the input correct here, or at the very least that counter hit was just substantial enough for Lurry to finish the job in this round.
There we go. Able to survive there. We've seen a lot of close rounds go in Blue Heck's favor off of the scramble, so it's a good mental victory here for Lurry. But again, this early wall break gives Blue Heck so much meter.
Oh my goodness, and so much of a health lead too. He's got the far slash away from the afro. Nice. Get away from me with the dust.
Not hand me. Ooh, looking for the JS. We still got Trumpet behind it. Send it with a single golf swing.
Jeez, I didn't know what side the JD works out. This mix carry.
Yep. Run it up. RC back. Look for the hoof stomp. That's burst out from Lurry.
Bounces, committed to the hook, line, and sinker. We have to go for that 6P to push away, and unfortunately the explosion reaches Lurry and finishes out the round.
Yeah, I wonder if we misinput one too many item tosses, or we just thought we had just enough time to look for a second, but maybe a little bit too late on the sequence. Either way, it's 2-1 Blue Heck now.
I almost feel like we thought we were just outside the range of bomb. We thought we were safe. Like it all worked out in favor of Blue Heck, obviously, who was already preemptively jumping away to not deal with any of the approaching mix, and then also would have to air block the explosion if we were caught in it. But round, as I said, Blue Heck up 2-1 right now.
Yeah, not a 2P round start. Instead, it's a 2K. Blue Wild Assault into the snip, snip, snip.
Good Lord, the stomp.
Air bomb back for the round break, or the wall break rather. Send it with the 5H. If one doesn't work, we're gonna look for two. Yeah, we're just gonna hold on to the burst here. It's such a big life lead that it's not really worth trying to commit all the resources, but we tried to bet it all on the DPs. Like, I got no health anyway.
I'm gonna stand here and just push forward my close slash a little bit.
Yep. Okay, send it with the mini Faust.
Got our guard crush in just a nick of time as we recovered from it, able to get that command grab. JD, what a call on a DP. Lurry with the hard reads and hammer combos. Oh my god!
Send it 5D wall splat straight into the super. I like the fact that we went for the immediate punish on the DP as well. We saw the explosion off the afro, so we didn't want to have that start the scaling and just make sure we get a really good starter. Good for Lurry now. Now throw is lethal.
Nice block though, but the quick teleport Lurry. Gonna tie it all up 2-all.
All right, pretty commanding victory in that game number 4 as well. I mean, this is the Lurry that we saw in game number 1, but can we keep that energy up for one more?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Blue Heck has really kind of gotten a pace of the matchup here, and yet still Lurry is pulling for that bag of tricks as he set that corner sequence, right? You know, forcing Blue Heck to go through a multi-layered defense and starting to get privy to when Blue Heck is feeling comfortable to throw out a DP, and Lurry's making those solid callouts.
Seeing the round start, very aggressive round start here from Blue Heck. The deep dash 6B to catch out the IAD back.
Stacking up a meteor right there, so we pocket a solid item. Lurry just trying to find the opportunity to send it, and we do. But at the wrong angle, it's not the meteor that we like. The large addition doesn't cover as much, but do get the back throw.
Yeah, because we're in the corner, didn't really have to worry about the meteor shower, but still, that back throw, like you said, trying to slow things down for Lurry here. Still down the burst.
Oh, really trying to force an Afro state on Blue Heck as well. Trying to catch with DP, not going to work, but this one will.
DP, close slash, send it with the Ride the Lightning. Caught out.
Heck, reaching here. Let's get Elk Hunt, does get another shatter. And the steamroll continues here. Quite the snowball effect coming from Blue Heck. IBs, and it does save you quite a bit here, able to go for a challenge after the RC.
All right, Lurry, how can we hold on? We got 1 HP and a dream. We gave our opponent a little bit more to work with too off of the banana.
And because we're walking backwards and only throwing out items, that does put us in a danger state here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was scary. I thought we wouldn't be able to dash out of the bomb radius in time, but Blue Heck, knowing that you're just trying to escape the corner, is able to anti-air on the way back down. Set point for the Sin.
There's a couple 2K pickups here just for a shatter. Jesus, the bar slash, stripping away even more burst gauge with the wild assault. Blue Heck again continuing his positive bonus.
Yeah, look at the red on that bar, 70% down, one more touch. The 6K able to whiff cancel into the Ride the Lightning. It's the kill straight through the glass for Blue Heck.
Every single interaction that final round was just, I'm going big. Every single time I'm going big. Like, how many hard calls did we make to corner carry? Spend it all to keep just devastating Lurry's health bar.
Yeah, that is how these things go. But definitely not negative on the win-loss ratio for these gamers heading on into it. Our first match of our top 48. We got SQ versus Yata.
Oh, all right. Yata with a gold burst.
So true.
Well,
It might work.
you know, let's play this out. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, okay. Now we set it with the Mappa. Double hop.
Oh.
And the 6B behind the back. All right, tricky from Yata here.
Nice. Yes, you. Some blocked Mortal Bato. So we've gotten 2 back-to-back Slugfest characters. And we're going to get some more of that here.
Take it to the skies. Ends up on the other side of that PRC looking for a 2H, but nothing found. SQ with the windshield wipers. Takes round 1.
Nice pickup here. Full stop sign with Daro to kick it off. Launcher super. So hard knockdown though. Look at the life lead that we have once again. SQ, she's primed and ready with the flip clean over Yata.
Just barely that 50-meter threshold for both, but the run-up on that positive bonus gives you enough. The IAD, or the jump forward IAD back rather, for the perfect, the little on-side swap action for SQ.
SQ with the, taking a strong run. I think there was a massive benefit in the fact that Yata had just removed burst at round start there. So that was a great kind of jumping the gun round start, jump start for SQ. That's the turn of phrase, right? You got the rolling start. That's what I'm looking for. Rolling
there we
start.
Go. Yeah.
We got there, Chad.
Me, a guy who has never changed the oil in his own car. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I see Chad saying, oh, I didn't know that SQ mains rep. 1, welcome to TNS, because, clearly you must be new here if you haven't seen that. And I don't say that as a bad thing. SQ is definitely one of these biggest reps of ramp. Of course, we think of Red Dodo as well, but in NA, definitely one of the premier rams that we're going to be seeing here. So strong in the sequencing. And now that we got a 100-meter and a wild assault behind it, it is going to be hard for Yata to find a win here at the neutral.
Woo. PRC to chase down that backdash away. There's the hammer. Nice 5P to interrupt. Trying to recover some of this wrist gauge here. Oh, tricky.
They got the cross up, yeah.
The hammer again, and there's Pile Bunker after a dandy. My goodness. She's trying to fight her way out here at the very least out of this corner. Without a true reversal, this is going to be tough, but the JH comes dropping down here on top of Yata. Nice, JP with the fuzzy.
There we go. Yeah, that blue beat action, but we're still going to find it off of the no sword windshield wipers. The big slam from SQ. Out of the corner.
Slash here, but we don't have that heavy to reach, so we just gotta keep poking in the corner for Slash.
Here we go, A.B.A behind the back with the dash too, caught out here. I wonder if we sniped out the jump from SQ.
Cool. It's a JH. Maybe expected burst right there, so slowed down a little bit here, but she's still got the side swap, corner with guard crush, and still trying to call out these baits.
Powered Rekka action here straight into the Mortabato. Now it's one touch apiece. No meter either side either, so it's really just deflect shields and FDs for Yata to try and stay alive.
This is the thing. Yata had no health. Could have burst a little bit earlier, but just accepted their fate. 2-0 lead right now for SQ.
Go. And I mean, we're seeing some of these tricky round starts coming out from Yata, right? Whether it's, you know, a couple, bunny hops or a couple Mappa hunches to try and keep SQ on her toes. But again, the sequencing, once she's able to land that first hit, is so strong. Whether it's the use of the Wild Assault or the meter, you know, to just keep Yata locked down. It feels like it's so hard to find any escape.
It's so ideal. I mean, both these characters, again, suffer from the same problem, and yet still SQ, she's been on that set play with Ramlethal since the launch of the game. So trying to fight your way out against a character that's not relenting. Like, look at the space. Heavy, gonna go right into Sword Explosion. We're gonna reset with this super as long as, you know, we didn't burst there. Because resetting super, we get our sword back, plus that hard knockdown. There it is.
A couple hits and we're already down to one more touch for Yata. You have 50 for a YRC, but I don't think that's how we're gonna find the escape. The dash in ends up staying same side. I think, you know, I couldn't even tell, and I'm the one watching from the spectator seat.
This has been so interesting to watch Yata burst so late. That I feel like has been a problem here throughout this matchup, right? Early bursting would kind of help you reset for neutral, as opposed to just getting bullied by ramps. There's nothing you can do about it right now, and that's because you bursted so late in the last round.
Yeah, exactly. It just kind of delays you. Yes, if you're too predictable on it, you end up getting burst baited more often than not, but you know, burst early, burst often is a rule of thumb for a reason. This positive bonus that SQ is just looping is so scary as we go into set point, looking for something off of the Sword Explosion. One more touch and still two more good hits that you need. The backdash into the Mappa. Ooh, and it's still not enough. The Drift RC just barely in range for that JK.
All the fluff, and it reduces quite a lot of time, but that's the fun part. Being live with us, hanging out. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you get all the in-betweens, you get all the extras, but there's no LFL to be seen. Instead, it's Chipp versus Anji for our next match. A little fight. We whiffed like 4 buttons in a row, and MacMens just like down back. He's like, oh wait, it's okay, I'm fine.
You know how problematic those buttons are going to be.
Yeah. He's like, nah, man, let me just wait it out a little bit here. I'll let you do your thing over there, and I'll catch you out the Nagoriyuki.
He's already set the tweet into blue sky. Jeez, to the JD.
Set the tightrope. We get that JH on the other side. A little wall run action. It's positive bonus too. Yeah, BRC. That the attempt to spin here from MacMens.
Ooh, with the Ocarina coming from Link, $40 contribution to the match. Reno, what song are we playing? The Song of Storms, perhaps? Great way to wind down a Monday after work, and good luck to all the players, says Ocarina Link. Thank you.
I saw GL. I was like, Goldlewis to all players. I mean, we've seen him a little bit, and I was like, oh, good luck. Yeah, good luck blocking this Rin, the overhead coming out from MacMens, but still not enough to keep you from being cornered against Marvelo.
Stagger out the Rekkas. And again, the true reversal of Anji, the 2P. Oh my goodness. Bless the dome with the overhead.
Alpha Blade to break the glass, but still the meter advantage here for MacMens. I was wondering if we were going to see another BRC to assess the situation around start, but Marvelo just runs away, aggressive even with the meter deficit.
MacMens trying to fish with that 6P here. Not going to quite work, but beautiful block. Patrick Carney with a $20 contribution to the match, Reno. I punched my microphone for that one, so thank you.
Yeah, 60 bucks in the last 60 seconds. Thank you guys so much for the generosity. And now we're trying to send something with the plus frames off the fan, but again, Chipp just one of these ultra mobile characters. He walks back and all of a sudden he's whip punishing when you're at the top rope of the sky. Speaking of, we still got that tightrope applied.
Onslaught continues here with no rope to help you out. That 2P anti-air, I can't believe that called. That was JS, wasn't it? Holy smokes.
Yeah, right. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Block on the rin. No meter spent behind it. I think MacMens being a little greedy with it, but ended up only taking a couple 2Ps for it. So risk reward worked out in his favor for sure.
Backing off full screen, does get the rope set up. Nice low. MacMens really trying to chip away at Marvelo's health here. Oh, what the
delay the Rekka.
So those darn... wait a minute! Whoa, what side are we blocking on? I think Marvelo got stuck in the corner and still was able to open up against MacMens, who dared to throw a Chipp who was stuck on a tightrope.
All right, game one on the board here for Marvelo. It's been tricky with the movement. Even when we're, finding opportunities to start our turn, far slash, a little 2P poke out, try and play a defensive. Even on these round starts when we're waiting for Marvelo to, with 4 or 5 buttons in a row, it seems like the defense overall for Marvelo is looking pretty solid. Even if we're getting caught by a couple overheads here and there, even if our punishes end up only being a couple 2Ps, overall working out super well.
Yes, indeed. I think it's some of that sensory overload too, right? You go full screen setup, deep run. Off to the heavens we go. Jesus. Ooh.
Behind the back, tries to go for a reset with the jump over.
Oh, no.
Burst bait rather, but we bait out the DP with the walk back. Now that's burst down from Marvelo.
MacMens doesn't want to let Marvelo get rolling here. Oh no, opened up a little bit too early. The Fujin cancel comes through. Oh my goodness, double over with the JD.
Behind the back of the cross-up Alpha Blade, able to IB, just barely blocked in time in the launch of the Nagi Hatu. MacMens with a round up.
I want to talk about changes to characters. That change right there for Anji, the Fujin opportunities that opens up the strike throw mix potential here for the character.
Again, Blade in the corner, just refresh the plus frames, but FD out. Then he's swinging with the 5H.
Super send. JS sneaks up with the throw. Already owns his corner position with the overhead on the Rekka with 50% meter. We just send this home.
Lucky barrage. Yeah, that jump in, whipping the double overhead and looking for a throw. I got hit too, bro.
The quickness. That's how Chipp Zaneth likes to play.
Woo! That 6B caught? I actually didn't think it would reach, I'm not gonna lie, but punishing the landing recovery for MacMens here.
Uh-oh, called out that burst, saw it thanks to the speed of the RC there.
Yeah. Ultimately saved by the wall health though, ended up wall splatting quicker than MacMens might have liked. The Rin still not enough, but the walk back far as still able to catch out the DP attempt.
And that's how quickly you can change the pace of the match here because of the paper-thin health that is Chipp Zaneth, right? Where MacMens has all the guts in the world on Anji. You can't be getting opened up every which way to Sunday from Chipp, but all it takes is, what, 2, 3 interactions from Anji to really finish the job?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Chipp health, that Anji damage, he is absolutely a brawler, so gotta be careful here on Marvelo's side as we head into game 3. Staggers off of these 5Ks, single Rekka.
I see so many of those delays. Excellent backdash. Covering a couple options there. Nice. Ooh, Marvelo really fishing for that 5H counter hit.
nothing to be found. No slowdown off of that heavy counter hit that we're looking for. Okay, there we go. We get the 5K punish this time off of the Rin. Not going to let you get away with a couple 2Ps.
Finally hitting a DP there. Able to push away, but 2P calls up burst again in the exact same fashion we did last game.
Ooh, but it's still not enough for the wall splat. Would have been the kill with that wall break, but speaking of the wall, we're looking for the run. Anything to try and stop MacMens from feeling comfy on the anti-air attempt. Still swings with the 6P, but 2P does the job.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
All right, G2K, that knockdown. Yes, JD allowing for that shatter here, getting a little bit of a tension boost for just dancing in the corner there.
Yep. Ooh, yeah, stagger off of the close slash. Damn, JD.
Telling you, the double overheads, Marvelo got hit once by that. Said, no more. Like, I'm good.
And a little early. We YRC it a little too early, too. No burst tier name. So off the YRC bait, MacMens now up 2-1.
This has been really unfortunate for Marvelo on defensive options. Like, we've been called out for DPs now and again, but that, you know, you can't get a ball, right? But the fact that we've been so consistently called off of burst attempts and now YRC, like, MacMens is reading the book of Marvelo here, just clear as day. And that just goes to show how often they've also competed together, right? In these brackets to make calls like that, it's no easy feat. And MacMens just being really consistent about it here. That commands quite the lead here. 2-1 so far against Marvelo.
No easy feat, but sticks out the toes a little bit with that 2D. I like the whiff punish that we saw from Marvelo. And like you said earlier, Zero, right? We're fishing for a lot of these backdash 5Hs to look for a counter hit, but I think MacMens just playing right outside the range and threatening this whiff punish Fujin.
Indeed, look at that. Already Fujin overhead, push for corner. FD for your life.
2K reached me out the drip, just barely able to catch MacMens. He's like, dude, I'm literally not on the screen. I cannot tell if this is going to hit me.
Tossed out here. Hello? Yeah, let's not burst here, because I swear to God, that RC was going to call out another burst, and Marvelo just holds on to it. So you know what? You got it. Not going to be able to come back from this. Okay, too far. If we can force a block, there it is. Got counter hit. 5K. Woo.
And that tightrope gives you the opportunity for the JH behind the back. A little twister action. Finally, the counter hit 5H we've been fishing for so long. Caught out here, but still so much HP to work through on MacMen's side. Double tap on the 2K.
Nice throw. Red RC. Wait a minute. I mean, we can carry to corner here. There we go. Thanks to the rope.
Damn. And smart rounding from Marvelo there too, right? We saw earlier where MacMens was looking for a kill up against the corner but got stopped by the wall help. So while we have the rope applied, we can instead go for coast to coast. You know, maybe minimum damage, but just a little bit more before you get that guaranteed wall break. Smart work.
Absolutely. I mean, even if it was like an unintentional side swap, like Marvelo made the most out of that scenario because, again, that better positioning, right? You did go for a side swap, you lost corner, but as you said, that little bit of extra damage really pushed it over the edge there for Marvelo to steal that round. 50% lead right now with this super for hard knockdown.
Ooh, and on the same side, I would have blocked the cross up and gotten hit, but there we go. Burst out from MacMens, sniped out with the 5P.
Ooh. RC, there it is, the 2K, but wasn't able to confirm. Wild Assault, and look at these IBs. Oh my goodness.
Ready to put you back into the corner, looking for a little 5H action. Tap dust, 100 meter in the bank, but the burst came up one hit too late and one hit too short. MacMens takes it with a 3-1. As we head into another top 48 set again, StitchFace versus SYMPHUUKAI.
Yes, indeed, and this is a top 8 qualifier here. Hotashi actually went 3-0 over Jack to qualify in the top 8, and in the background, SQ 3-1 over Unbiased here to qualify for top 8 as well. So yeah, let's get into it here. We'll have our next match in just a moment. Razzo versus MacMens to also qualify, but already a strong start for StitchFace with over 70% life lead at this point.
Yeah, Yeah, I like that delay burst. Again, it's that burst bait mini game, right? Are you going to slight delay it? Are you going to hold on to it strong and just think that I'm going to drop my combo? But StitchFace ends up getting the right guess there. That's 6H. The walkback's not enough. Mouqui able to escape just barely.
There's that Grave Reaper again. Does have Succubus behind here, and there's that teleport.
Scary. I was wondering if we were going to get counter hit and the IAD back, but no JH to be seen on StitchFace's side.
Nice 2S to catch the backdash, and full conversion. The burst comes through, though.
Yeah, does this extend the hurt box? Oh, never mind. It's full screen burst either way, so
Yep.
not going to be able to get a super there.
Man, remember, we had to worry about that.
It's TBT, man. I'm like, is this burst safe? Then I'm like, wait, no, burst is full screen. I should know this. All right, first round over to SYMPHUUKAI here. It was looking pretty rough in the beginning, I'll tell you what, with that HP deficit. But again, like you mentioned before the set, right? You know, this trickiness with the Succubus TPs. You put on Arbiter's Sign when it's the last thing on their brain as well. There's so many things to try and press on as we are just chomping through StitchFace's HP.
Absolutely. Still apply that 6P, the stop sign on the approach, and still has another Succubus teleport available. Don't you forget it. Nice block to add additional block stun even after the 6P. You already had the curse applied here. SYMPHUUKAI maintaining that control and victory. First game.
All right. Yeah, that first round was definitely much more of a, oh, we got to come back from a rough situation. The second round seems so much more commanding. Now that we had a little bit of a, quick download on how StitchFace like to approach, we were just thinking, okay, we have conditioned you to respect a little bit. You're looking for the down back in the corner. I'm going to delay and catch out your dash block timing with some of these Arbiter signs and just make you feel so uncomfortable about however you're trying to approach.
If I'm not mistaken, I feel like the last time I saw SYMPHUUKAI, it did go down that way, where SYMPHUUKAI would go down like a game. It's like, cool, this is how I play this set, and just clean house for the rest of the run. But obviously, first blood goes to SYMPHUUKAI here, and already locking down the jump route here for Stitch.
They're trying to lock down that airspace again with the H Grave Reaper, but instead, StitchFace, I like the adaptation. Instead, we're just going to show some more Dolphin. Our air buttons are supreme, but we still got Dolphin RC to bring us back over to the other side.
All right, I don't know. 6K right there?
Ooh, the Chomp, the Super, the PRC, and waiting it out. So much meter down the drain on both sides. The total spend. And now we got the charge on the S Reaper too.
Curse applied here, just get the extra blocks on the push for corner. Nice. The Grave Reaper, the 5K catching backdash again. A little bit extra damage there with that 6H. Not enough to finish the job. Be careful. Watch the Totsugeki. That's why we had the Arbiter there. 3K! Woo.
There we go. Send it with the Wild Assault. Not even going to have the burst opportunity because we looked for such a long delay.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe we brought it back after the 3K. Like, of all things to look out for, it's always those full screen lows in a very bizarre situation that you're not looking for, right? Because if it was blocked, SYMPHUUKAI would have cleaned it up. That would have been a game for, or a round for SYMPHUUKAI.
A little extra damage off the Nostrovia, send the 6H. We're waiting for the meter to come back up, but that Stain proc gives us so much, especially with the positive bonus, and not even going to try and spend the burst there. One round apiece, even on the burst situation.
Oh no! Try to challenge the 6H. That's a heavy charge button there.
Oh yeah. Look
Wait
at
a minute,
again, that 3K, like you said, we're tricky, man. That looked like a noble strategy if I've ever seen one.
Gracious. Right here, 6H follows through. Nice GD, are you kidding me? These routes here come from Stitch.
Get up. Oh, okay, the fadeaway S Reaper.
Nice Stain. 6H to accept with Super.
Up against the corner, we got Stain Stay proc. Instead, opting to keep the corner. Still have a meter deficit here. It reached!
There we go. Does get the toss. That's a game up for Stitch. What an answer back here.
Yeah, scary. Tried to go for the jump back air super. We did get the hit, but I think especially with such a tall confirm, even with the RC, it's a little bit tricky. I wonder if RC down is what we needed to find the kill, but either way, we pull up for the run up throw to tie things up.
Just the navigation that we've seen from StitchFace throughout this entire set so far. Can throw anybody off, and because of the course correction that we get from Split, is just, it can potentially screw up a lot of that Grave Reaper set play, right? To keep Mei outside the box.
Yeah. Trying to box you out with the Far Slash instead. SYMPHUUKAI finds a Far Slash of their own to whip punish.
Good throw.
There's a Reaper for the OTG.
With this meter on deck, you gotta be careful. I was expecting a wake up 3K, I'll be honest with you.
Thought we were gonna go crazy and try and bust out of the corner again with a, wake up low.
I mean, why not, right? 5K interrupts the Totsugeki. Seal team coming through, not gonna be able to connect here. That gives SYMPHUUKAI opportunity to challenge.
The JD to air stall. Oh, just barely out of range of the 2K, but no punish there. Not fast enough to find the throw.
Way anchor here as we keep swinging after the split. Jeez, beautiful IB here from Stitch. That risk gauge being so cranked up. Nice interrupt with 2K after the dash. That close slash not good enough here. SYMPHUUKAI very active on defense.
There we go, back throw off the counter hit Dolphin. Secures the corner here for StitchFace, but still one touch. Especially with 50 meter on the side of SYMPHUUKAI burst out. Ooh. What, you confirm?
That was actually pretty crazy with the follow-up here.
JS pick up into the Nostrovia. Yuki 2-1 off of a clean rising JS.
Okay, that was insane with the JS. I can't believe that we had the backup follow-up here with the super to close out the round.
Yeah, I mean, that JS is a big button, right? I'm not surprised that the first one hit, but just the presence of mind to go, oh, okay, what is the, continuing series that I need to bring us back down to the ground? Because anything but a super is not going to be the kill that I need. So, all right, clean situational awareness here from Yuki as we head into game 4.
Whoa. Catching the Grave Reaper here. She's down with another 5K. JP gets the interrupt here, and again, right back in kind with the 2K to call out that Totsugeki pull.
Oops. Yeah, just barely the stain state off of that far S is enough to wall break too. Get out. Yeah, you're waiting for 50. Damn, the walk back 3K.
It's an absolutely devious button there. Does get that close slash, and PRC to chase. That stops on with the 6P.
JPP, yeah, able to find a like confirm on the way back down. Gets you a soft knockdown, but yeah, not the best thing in the world. I actually did not think 5K, even with the Drift RC, was going to be enough. Just barely. One more touch here. One more Arbiter sign is lethal.
Oh! The teleport to avoid the Totsugeki!
Ooh, 5P counter hit. Still trying to stay alive. The RC is live, and there's no burst available. The split JH StitchFace with the round.
Get closer as we lift off with the Grave Reaper, the 6H to extend further. With that Wild Assault, Super should be getting the shatter here. Oh no, not quite close enough.
Ooh. The poke out, the trade off of the Dolphin, 5P taken to the skies. It's still not enough with no meter behind it, but now we have Stain State post wall break with 50% on the side of StitchFace.
Go for the throw bait there, and SYMPHUUKAI will not fall for it. The Arbiter sign low, taking a round.
Walk up, dash block the 2K2D. Oh, double, a triple Dolphin, trying to look for the swing, maybe a 6P to counter hit with a 5H, but Yuki one step ahead.
Range, follow up here with the close slash, and these IBs coming in clutch right now for Stitch.
Charge H Reaper instead.
Yeah, that JP able to come while falling down here. Nice back throw.
Ooh, tried to go for another, but a little bit too early for your own good off of the IAD. Damn. Behind the back. From this time, the delay. Yeah, catches you out with the delay. H Reaper for a little stagger action. Send it with the Nostrovia to go straight through the glass, and it should be the kill. The guts is not enough. Yuki takes it 3-1. Entered into the winner's side of this top 8. Up next, Razzo versus MacMens.
Mankind
Razzo,
that
first
they
appearance
hunt.
on stream tonight.
Duel 1.
MacMens with the return.
Let's rock.
Congrats to Hotashi and Razzo for getting a top 3 finish at FGC meetups.
Oh yeah, a very stacked local, but now they're trying to make it into this online regional, like you mentioned earlier. Catch out with a Nagiha, but no catch on the second time. Looking for that confirmed.
Oh, tweak. Yo, the drift. You want to talk about movement? Ooh, that was it right there. Razzo cleans the drift, but unfortunately not able to get out of this corner. Tweet has been sent, and MacMens really running the set play right now with PRC low, getting blocked.
Oh yeah, trying to look for the delay 2S, but the delay DP in turn coming out from Razzo. But a couple quick pokes, the 2 PPP, trying to stay alive here with the burst, but gets caught out with the koi fish. It's Mirare for round 1.
Dance's round start open. Okay. Quick grab from Razzo, full corner carry, does get shattered. Turbulence here just for as much damage as we can get for now. Positive Post will help out here for this next sequence.
Lots of meter here for Razzo to try and find the approach.
I wonder if that was some right, like I wonder if that was just purposeful to get it out of the field immediately, but we could have done a fireball.
Yeah, I mean, we would used to see a lot of people extend their hurt boxes into, say, Ino Note, right? To make sure that we were just getting the projectile off the screen early. So I think a similar way for Razzo to try and approach, but now with the 100 meter getting caught out, do we want to spend the burst early or be greedy and try and hold onto it for the next round? I mean, you have the meter to kill off of a neutral skip, but still a scary situation when MacMens can say the same.
I mean, there is no next round for burst here. If Razzo goes down, this is it. This is...
Exactly.
Like, 100 meter does strip here, tries to call up burst, Razzo holding on to it. Yeah, just 2P out.
Yeah, tried to show that Conqueror's Hockey saying, ooh, I know you want to bait this burst so bad. It worked out the first time. We delayed the burst so much off of the RC that the 2S didn't end up, comboing. So we still needed to find one more hit, but Razzo dying with the full burst. I mean, that's how it goes. We play around the mini game, see what our opponent is willing to bait out here as MacMens takes game 1.
Duel 1.
Quick load into this first round here at game number 2.
Immediate burst out coming from MacMens, and the counter hit far slashed as well. I wonder what we tried to send from Razzo.
Nice. Got the RC co-carry for corner. And look at this life lead here. MacMens. Just a little bit of more work to do, but the far heavy. Back here, back turn stance. Try to go for 5K real quick, and quite the parry for MacMens.
Send it with the stanky leg. Again, another 100 meter situation for Razzo, but doesn't want to be too greedy, sending it with the Berserker Slash. If you get counter hit, it's going to be a kill for MacMens, even off of a straight hit. But speaking of the counter hit, the anti-air close slash, the headbanger brings you back down to earth, and we send it with the Providence Burn straight through the glass.
Yes, indeed. Good finish. Okay, trying to back off, and MacMens just locked in on blocking.
Burst out from MacMens, sends it out with the H projectile. I thought we were going to land in it off of the JH, but ended up traveling a little bit too far. Still, the armor stance keeps MacMens locked down in the corner.
Yep, does go for the Lurry chase down here. Nice DP out. JS there, YRC tries to steal a turn back, could have blocked, what a 2K. Left, right we go, nice overhead. Extend a little bit further here, no super.
Scoop, send the tweet once again, but still able to block the DP. MacMens chilling on the other side. Razzo bursts down. Just want to bring this to a game number 3, but jumps over the butterfly, and a JH sends it. Oh, there we go. We got the super once again off of the tumble state to tie it up.
Very good jump there. Just recognizing the scenario of when MacMens might be able to call out that butterfly. Just taking a short hop over with that JH just to make that connection here. It does remove that butterfly. So great forward thinking here from Razzo as we continue the offense and steal back our turns with a solid opportunity at victory.
All right, MacMens taking a second to ready back up here as we head on into game number 3. I've seen this exact emote. Yeah, you guys are probably wondering, what is kneeling woman covered in blood emote? I've been given too many emo privileges on Discord, I gotta say. They gotta like revoke Nitro from me. We gotta revoke Wild Assault. We're gonna be breaking through the... Alright, never mind. We're holding on to the corner, maybe waiting for 50% to have a hard knockdown here. No, instead we're just sending it with the back turn pressure, and it's burst out from MacMens.
What's crazy is that if you're watching the VOD, you're not going to have context as to why JT said kneeling woman covered in blood.
That's why you guys gotta be here live. Check out the chat, check out the tweet. We send it with the bird. Still trying to swing our way through. We saw that earlier from Razzo. Maybe trying to take the projectile off the screen as soon as possible, but when you don't have a lot of room to work with and Anji's already a little too close up, that 6H is gonna do work.
Heavy fireball dance right through. I can't believe the pass-through worked, but Darián was an overcommitment there for MacMens.
Send it out with the double S boom. Damn, boom, PRC. Oh no, but the Costco guy's in shambles right now. 2 big booms, but no round to show for it. We're down on the burst as well going into round 2.
Yeah, it was smart movement here coming from Razzo to clash that initial fireball to be able to pass through. Good challenge. Turbulence, are you trying to punish off of that or at least take a counter poke? Razzo just pull over it.
50% about to come up here from MacMens, but damn, instead swinging off of the hard knockdown, just sends it with the far slash, just challenging Razzo's patience, even on her own knockdown.
Excellent shatter in here. Oh, jeez, yep, and we call it the startup here of the spin, so that gives opportunity for Razzo to go for throw. Pump the brakes. Ooh, nice 6P from MacMens.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yep, the dash block under the follow-up with the bird, too. Razzo has been playing so well around this projectile to put herself up. Not quite 2-1 just yet, but ties things up even.
She's just an unstoppable force, just continuing to move forward. It's push forward combat here. I know Doom is coming out later this month, but good lord, Razzo, you're ready for it. Stagger,
headbanger, the whip.
Yeah. It is fireball challenge. One more. Try to do the 2D cheeky stuff.
Yeah, I like the idea. We're showing a bunch of different ways to try and go under the follow-up of that block projectile, but a little too slow on that end.
Nice lift off here off the 2H. Missing the back turn slash, but does get the pickup with 5K. Jesus.
Heavy counter hit off of the far slash, and we still got 100 meter, but I wonder if an RC conversion into super would have killed. Maybe not believing because Leo definitely got the kingly health plan on the guts here, and we just swung 5 far slashes in a row. If 4 doesn't work, we send it with the 5th as MacMens goes up 2-1.
I mean, it was excellent spacing, too. I think the only thing you have to concern about is the 5H from Razzo, depending on your spacing, but it was a beautiful position for MacMens to close it out.
Yeah. They said if it works. I mean, yeah, if the far slash works, it works. And like you said, right, challenging at that spacing where, you know, yes, Leo might be able to contest that spacing if he's able to, you know, run in with Berserker Slash or send it all, but especially at that health, like, you can't make a mistake and bet it all like that.
Turbulence here, back turn. Should be getting the shatter, we succeed.
Caught up with another Fujin instead. The whiff on the 2K tries to take your turn back for Razzo, but ends up getting far slashed for it. Another burst out, and caught up with the low off the armor stance.
Ooh, trying to Fujin. We have the charge, though. You can't give a gap to a Leo player who is down backing. They already have a flash kick primed and ready.
You said flash kick out, but the 2P is back in. MacMens 1 round away from securing this top 8 winner's side. Let's see if we're able to keep that momentum back up. Razzo, I know you got a little bit more in you, but showing the Mirare once again.
Heavy. Off the wall. Oh my goodness, the fireball dissipating just in the nick of time. Not that it would have really caught you out of that. You were air blocking anyways, but man.
Just a game of inches, a game of pixels, really. The backdash. Not trying to get hit with that follow-up and give Anji these free plus frames.
Oh my goodness, does get the guard point. Doesn't fall through off of anything. The overhead connects here with MacMens continuing to pressure with 2S counter hit. Straight hit off of the Nagi high ender. No way. Max range on that super, just a blast right through the butterfly setup here. And nice stagger, gets the close slash to call out the throw attempt.
There we go. Super ties it back up on the rounds here, but it's still set point. MacMens down a little bit on the burst, but not the worst thing in the world here. You have all the health in the world and the time to bring it back up. There we go, just jumps into the follow-up.
Almost at the pressure for the corner here. Yep, FD to try to reduce at least the chip and even the risk that we're building up. But look at all the damage that's already done. Providence burn. There's so much risk on that bar for MacMens there. That is devastating, J2.
Ooh. Go. Oh, DP's just barely not lethal. You still need one more. Any one touch should be enough, but MacMens after this needs one more good hit. Oh, maybe two with the Leo health.
Minute here, I mean, it's still chipping away. And we have to drift to avoid the butterfly and 2K finish. First of all, the fact that you whip for 6P and then it whiffs, you say, you know what? Time to flash kick. It auto-corrects. It's only a down up. What do I got to worry about?
The butterfly high, but still riding strong here for Razzo. I mean, some of those rounds were looking pretty scary on the MacMens set point, but if anyone's got the clutch factor, it's her as we head into game number 5. We are not going to give you this winner's top 8 spot that easy.
She has just got insane movement in this matchup alone. Like, I know that Razzo has excellent movement skills, but this is on another level since the last time I've seen her play. Like, being able to navigate butterfly so effectively is just absurd. Heavy.
Okay. Nice straight butterfly there, but not the worst thing in the world. Okay. Countering a close slash, one of the worst things in the world. I'll give you that much. I understand the burst.
Go super for the shatter here. Not quite enough to finish.
Thought it would have killed, but the God's keeping you alive for one more interaction. I mean, with 1 HP, what's the worst that happens when you bet it on a DP? Well, the worst that happens is MacMens now back on set point.
5K does have guard point. So gonna walk right into the butterfly for that. It's been a long time since we've seen a pass through here, and Razzo does succeed with that one. Gets out of the stance here for a throw. Oh, no.
Back grenades, tries to send it with the tap dust, but nothing found off the overhead attempt. A little bit too far out, and MacMens finds a clean whip punish.
Every time, J2, every time. Butterfly, I move. I'm not gonna watch this thing hit me a second time.
Not gonna let you get the free plus wins, and we've been rotating what we find off of it every single time. The slam, the Providence burn. We're going to what?
One more time.
Oh no. Oh no.
5K.
Okay.
There it is.
I was gonna say, that'd be a scary round to try and bring back on MacMens' side, but we are going to final game, final round. The B.A.ers in the chat cheering on Razzo. The MacMens gamers scared as he's losing 50% of his HP so quick into the round.
My goodness, there's the 5K here.
Ooh, 2D PRC and pull up at the throw.
Just looking for the quick navigation to coast across the screen. Deep dash up with the 5K, finish it with the super. That's a 3-2 victory for Razzo.
That's what I'm saying. So many of you guys tuning in and just on time. The Twitch gamers, the YouTube fam, you are just in time for winners semis. Like Zero said, it's Hotashi versus SYMPHUUKAI for our next set, but it's not going to be the Nagoriyuki instead. I think we were talking about this a little bit in chat earlier. Instead, the Bridget going up against this Testament to make sure we have the mobility and the range to try and contest.
Yeah, Hotashi really putting out the work for this Bridget, right? Kind of set the Nagoriyuki, I almost said the Hotashi, which, I mean, at this point, set the Nagoriyuki aside for somebody else a little bit different, right? Because look at the pressure that we get off these yo-yo calls. Recall here just for pressure, there it is.
Yep, looking for the TK roll instead, looking for the 2-3-6. No set, but yeah, just immediate challenge off of the fireball. We're trying not to get stain procced. Okay, we're chilling.
Nice. Just get the front of the throw. Beautiful IB is to open up that opportunity. Double overhead there. Good stand block for SYMPHUUKAI, but finally gets opened up.
Yeah, fast RC, Revenge of the Killing Machine. We send it with a quick, clean kill for Hotashi. The 5P.
Jesus, beautiful 5H.
And I really think this is why we picked Bridget for Hotashi, right? This bar S to try and contest these fast and long-range buttons from Testament in a way that makes them so, you know, scared to try and hold on to that neutral space.
Yeah, and look at the yo-yo calls that we're doing. It gives you a couple things to think about, right? Instead of just sending out slash or heavy slash coming from Hotashi, there's yo-yo call, and that forces SYMPHUUKAI to make an interaction to try to prevent the spin on these yo-yos, and Hotashi opening up opportunities for whip punishes there.
Oh my god, and the up angle spin giving us the double, the triple overhead straight into the, not the Roger dive, the rock the baby to end the game number 1. I had to think about it for a sec. I was like, oh, it's Roger, but it's not the dive, even though she is jumping in the air and then fall. Anyway, game number 2 is up on the, you know, up next.
Yeah, great set play here from Hotashi, and again, that sensory overload becomes a... both players are capable of doing this, right? We saw this earlier for SYMPHUUKAI to get into this position when we're setting up the screen with the Grave Reaper against that Ming. And now JS here with Hotashi. Same thing can be said. Yo-yo calls here, heavy for that counter hit. We just pepper the screen with, you know, either recall or send yo-yo to keep you thinking the Arbiter side is not going to allow for those setups coming from Hotashi.
We're set up into the Nostrovia from downtown, just bring him all the way over to the core. Oh, I thought we'd be able to pick up with the second hit Nostrovia with that Arbiter sign, but still such a good situation here for Yuki as the Stain State, as that Crow finds the kill.
Yo send 5H. There we go, big counter hit.
We get the pickup off the break too. 50% still available in the tension for Hotashi. Any kill or any next hit with an RC should be lethal. Fast RC gives us that Roger Super, that Bear Platinum to tie it up.
Does send a Stain just a little bit further here. Does have a teleport opportunity, not going to need it.
There we go. Oh, tried to jump over the Grave Reaper. Thankfully, still not going to proc the Stain State. See stray hits on Hotashi's side. Nope. The delay to H. I wonder what we were looking for there. All right. Get out off the roll. JH.
Block here, try to go for the 2H call out, and very interesting that if you go for that RC, you still see the clock on top of 10th Testament as they're teleporting.
Yep. Exactly, yeah. Gives you a, you know, little visual indicator like, oh, I guess they are TPing. Gotta watch out for that one as we head into game number 3. We are tied up.
Okay. Up here in the set, off the stick we go. No way we go for Nagoriyuki, right? It's still Bridget. Of course it is.
I was wondering, I was like, are we walking back to swap up? I don't think so, right? Because game number 1, it was working out. It's fine to, you know, be down 1. I still think the mobility and the range, the speed at that range in particular is what we're looking for with the Bridget. So sticking on it for game number 3.
Yeah, not too far off of the set play, honestly. I mean, these two really could be going back and forth in terms of, you know, in the mid-screen, they're both kind of going for the same thing in terms of that mid-screen setup. You want to try to take advantage with that Grave Reaper, but I think Hotashi kind of comes on top with Bridget on paper just because of how frequent these yo-yo sends can be sent out.
We send the yo-yo, we send the Star Platinum. Send you straight through the glass with this hard knockdown. There's not really any meter for it just yet, so yeah, even this we can't quite throw RC, but we get the yo-yo set. Empty low off of the roll, and Yuki said, all right, you got this round. I'm not trying to fight back on this 99% HP.
Except bro is changing songs. The song's the same.
These guys don't have their ears open to the jukebox. They're looking at the action on the screen. I understand. It's high octane. The OST just kind of fades into the background, but Yuki does not want to fade into the night quietly. Runs up with a 2S and still has the succubus applied.
That's a little grave. And there's the PRC trying to keep track of that teleport, and there it is at the heavy. I'll change to his own stream. All right, fair enough.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, like, I hear the same OST I heard before, and I see the same story as game number 1. The run-up with the blue wild assault, the whiff JK, and a throw takes a quick second game.
I guess the song helped out. What track was that?
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's definitely like running it with the DNB, like full instrumental, like jungle beats. Like, I don't know, man. He's pulling up. That was a quick game, I gotta say.
And that's just how overwhelming Bridget can be with that pressure, right? Because
yeah,
you're constantly sending out yo-yo, and if you're not paying enough attention, you're not going to notice whether it's the send yo-yo or the recall, the hit on the return. And if you're paying attention to that, then you're missing out on the fact that we already have a heavier slash yo-yo, or just in normal, right? Set in the mid screen.
Ooh. From mid-screen to the corner, we're pulling up with the immediate scooter, but all right, no burst needed to escape the corner here for Yuki. This is a pretty good start. We got the far slash counter hit, but still looking for any way to try and safely apply the stain state.
Super here. Geez, trying to chase down with that 2K, not going to reach. Nice 6P.
Yeah, there we go. Check on the roll.
Stain to get that extra block stun here, sneaking in a throw for victory.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
There we go, just ID back off of that H Reaper. We're trying to look for something off the standing on Succubus. But no TP to be seen. Instead, we see the raid of 30 from Aaron Curry. Thanks so much for the support. You're just in time for winner's side top 8. All right, Hotashi trying to make it to that winner's finals. Finds the yo-yo set straight into the super. The second overhead, trying to bait out a throw, but looking for a throw bait. Yuki doesn't bite, but still caught up here with a wall break.
Just a touch away from victory here. Oh my goodness. Beautiful heavy.
Boom! The JH. I like the delay on the dash jump.
Side swap. 5K conversion here. That's what blocks the nice call out in the YRC. Just in case we decide to burst, and Hotashi will gladly do so.
Oh no, just a little bit too far for the 2P. I wonder if 5P, 6P might have worked, but we're talking about P. We got 2, 3, 6P. We send it with the Crow to tie it up 2-2.
Quite the shot. I mean, point blank range. Almost at the challenge there coming for Hotashi, whether it's 2 all in the set. And quite a way to start out this top 8.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to stay in the winner's side. They don't want to head into the shark-infested waters of losers just yet. Securing that spot in winners is going to be a bloodbath as we wait it out. Game number 5. Ooh, okay, Hotashi headed up to the stand with the Bridget, but a quick pause. Maybe it's changing the music. Maybe it's heading to character select. But I really doubt we're going to be seeing the Nago here.
Music. It's got to be music.
It's surely. Just got to be the tunes. We're sifting through Winamp right now. We're sifting through VLC Media Player, just looking for one last, solid song to lock in. Maybe it's picking Birthday Train for the music. If he picks Birthday Train, despite knowing that he has music off in his stream, and he's just playing it to everyone but himself, I'm going to be like, bruh, wait.
It is Nago. It is Nago stepping up. All right, we're looking for that explosivity. We want to be relentless in the pressure, because we've been denying SYMPHUUKAI a lot of setups, but now I feel like at this point, we think that SYMPHUUKAI has kind of figured out the set play of Bridget, and look at this. Already closed the gap on teleport. Quite the 2K 2D on the Fukyo.
Right.
Yeah,
now that I'm seeing them next to each other, it is kind of sick that their main palettes do end up matching here. We got the mint-green on both sides, but the red of the blood just chewing on through with the blood-sucking universe. The double command grab. RC Hotashi explodes through, putting himself on set point.
And again, there's no way to push out in the Nagoriyuki there without any sort of resources. You have a guard cancel available, and that's if you get to land. We go into the Blood Rage combo, but misses the 5K.
Yeah, no pick up on the 5K, maybe a little bit too late, but it's all good. Not quite gonna get the Blood Pop Super just yet, but looking for the air throw so high on the wall splat.
Yeah, wall splat unfortunately wasn't gonna be able to connect because that recovery from the Blood Rage that actually saved SYMPHUUKAI a little bit there.
Yeah, still not enough. Saved by the HP and the guts, but this is a much rougher situation than Hotashi had intended. Was running away with the round, but all that HP lost off of the Blood Rage is scary. Trying to gamble.
There's the Wild Assault there. Yeah, because we don't have enough Blood Rage to even attempt a Fukyo. We go for the Wild Assault to keep close. Hotashi made a big gamble. It kind of paid off there a little bit, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the finish. Big counter hit.
There you go. First out from Mouqui. Really didn't spend too much blood, so not the worst thing in the world here to be sent out full screen off of the burst. We don't drop this time. It's the close slash instead.
Just trying to weather the storm in this Blood Rage. Still able to get the 5P. DP, time to guess and finish. That is the round.
You know, stilted in the way that we're able to move. But what we lack for in mobility, we have in firepower. So we're sticking with the Slayer as we head into game number 1 of winners semis, SQ versus Razzo.
Instead of reflecting Duel 1.
That's right. She also had A.B.A. How could I forget that little A.B.A. period alongside the Dizzy? Dizzy was a very small moment in history.
Yeah.
Here we go. Launch here already with the slash toss.
Damn, just chunked through the HP. You know, it was a slight HP reduction for Slayer, but it is, you know, especially against a character like Ramlethal who's able to pump out the damage. Absolutely noticeable.
Whoa.
Air down. Oh my god, you're dead.
Whoa. SQ, hold on. Wait a minute. You anime player, you air dasher, you.
I can't believe it, dog. I thought we left the air dash mix-ups back in Exer, but no, staying alive and strive here as SQ trying to make it a quick 2 rounds in a row. And I mean, it looks like deja vu for the first one, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it is. J2, it is actually the exact same
oh my god.
game that we saw last round. It's the exact same. There's been the glitch in the Matrix.
Sword explosion. Yeah, the simulation is breaking. I'm not. Oh, okay. Backdash cancel. We're fighting it out here on round number 2.
Oh god. Dash through, gets the close slash here. No burst. There's the PRC calling out Razzo's burst.
Yeah.
Holy
I mean,
smokes.
instant burst, that's how it goes. I mean, Razzo, you know, as a player, of course, SQ and Razzo have run into each other so many times, so I'm sure the burst minigame has been established over, you know, hundreds of hours of play almost at this point, right? So,
yeah.
You know, we've shown enough delay bursts, we've shown enough, oh, okay, I'm going to hold on to it the entire game and see how much you're willing to bait it out. So sometimes you just got to slam the burst as soon as you get hit. Such is life.
Exactly. You know, and that's, you bring up such a good point of how often they cross paths. Like, you're expecting certain interactions in these quarters, and SQ, she's really been bringing out the corner push mix potential here, where she pulls the opponent out of that corner and still gets on the opposite side, which opens up that explosion sword possibility here because the opponent gets crossed up. And there's so much visual noise anyways, but you can't always 100% see when she does that cross. Excellent throw.
Damn, and that was a cross up too. The whiff 5P, a little dash jump after the IAD. The Mappa straight in SQ's face, but still has PRC to keep the turn up, but tries to send the pile bunker to no avail.
Yeah, that's going to be a very unsafe ender there off the block string.
His wall spot is so, it's so chill. He's not even T-posing. He's like, all right, you got me. I understand. YRC to try and stay alive, but again, even Chad is talking about it. The reactions of SQ ready for the defensive options. That attempt to cross through with the dash immediately scooped up.
Oh, geez, Mappa hunch. Puts you right back into the corner here. Far slash. And how is she able to get these throws? There we go. Burst away. Another Mappa hunch. We'll punish the far slash.
The slide, but again, looking for the 6P. I wonder if that's like a 4P OS to catch something out. Either way, out of the cross up immediately here.
The 6P would have challenged out that Mappa hunch, so it would have low profile, would have got the counter hit there. I think it was just a gamble to see that coming out. Definitely did not happen in favor of SQ.
Okay. All right, round on the board here for Razzo. Still staying on strong with the Slayer pick with the whiff of that far slash. Yeah, the walk back from SQ finds a far slash of her own.
Go to H, guard crush. Let's the explosion do the work here. Go. Morto Bato. Hard knockdown, full extension here after. Oh my goodness. Run up. Another one. We just do a full around the world sequence here in this round so far. YRC's not going to work. It's a sword toss. So unfortunate. A perfect round. 2 up right now for SQ.
Man, and one of those things we think about with sword toss, right, is we're like, oh, okay, if we're not if we don't have a prerequisite, you know, distance or proximity to the corner, of course the explosion is not actually going to be a factor, right? You're just sending out this projectile and now you're down, you know, either your slash normals or your heavy normals. But especially in these game-ending situations where you're looking to bait out the 50-meter reversal from your opponent, if you just want to put out a hitbox and be safe from YRC, it's the perfect application even in the mid-screen. But Razzo swapping it up. 2 games on the Slayer was not enough, so we go back to, like we said before, this old reliable Leo.
As I called out, right, it was the first 2 games we try to go for Slayer, but once that gets figured out, Razzo will go back to that old reliable, and already not looking too great.
Yeah, still looking like deja vu. The first 2 games, these round starts just so dominant for SQ. Goes for the late air dash back, but nothing found off JK.
Watch it. Yeah, I knew the flash kick was coming through. You're charging for corner there. Razzo wants out.
And they send it with the S-Boom, a little fireball to keep SQ locked down in place. H, flash kick gives us the BT, but Mortabato putting us in throw range.
The explosion, just run up. I'll be block and watch things explode. Potentially match point here. Nice backdash.
Yeah, no confirm off of the down roll. Maybe just a little bit too far or a little bit too late, but either way, that punch and the whiff gives SQ the opportunity to finally get opened up at this back turn pressure.
I'm sorry, but being able to hide inside that explosion is terrifying because what SQ's doing. She's just sitting there in the explosion, potentially just going to interrupt with 2K, but that's not the case here. Razzo making a solid call, stealing out this round.
Yeah, looking for the natural camouflage of the pillar, but nothing to be found. We're tied up on the rounds, but again, SQ off of the round start. The wild assault spent finds this positive bonus. From the 6P, now we're chilling out. Take our paces off these back dashes, but 2K 2D Dauro. The greatest knockdown in the world, but still enough plus frames and corner carry to bring us right back to where we need to be. The triple Rekka, the 2K, and the Mortabato. Still not enough.
Guard crush there. Try to get a fake out on left, right. I mean, SQ, you have a massive life lead. Don't get opened up here. The overhead does get blocked. We trade with the JH to finish the job here. SQ advanced to the winners finals with a 3-0 victory.
If Fubuki takes this set, up next in losers quarters can be the Testament team kill. But I mean, you know, in losers quarters, it can only be so much done to avoid it. But it's Johnny on the other side for now. Again, Unbiased here versus FubukiVr.
Fubuki has been already setting a strong performance here in this quarter position against Unbiased here. He has to draw after a burst. With teleport, you can't be forgetting about it here.
Set the crow. Yeah, and we find the application off of the far slash. Oh, awkward because we had the, you know, another stain state applied, but it's fine. We find that clean pickup off of the Dystropia either way.
Tall order for Unbiased to make this comeback. What? Run up dust? Not even needing the meter since we already have the stain applied.
You know, we see Arbiter sign, we see run up 5K, we see run up far slash, but I feel like it's been a while since we've seen the bravery of Testament putting themselves in such close range. But I mean, I guess a little uncomfortable for both of these characters, right? They still have pretty stellar 5Ks, but on that knockdown situation, it's fine to pull up here for the counter hit close slash.
Establish a strong lead here. Will it return the favor? And this positive bonus is going to be great to try to rebuild on that burst resource. Lost so much of it over the last game, or round.
Yeah, JK, not really a lot of blocks done there. They're just going for the RC, maybe trying to bait out a YRC or deflect shield, but nothing found. Now burst out here from Fubuki gives Unbiased here the opportunity to set the card.
Arbiter, there it is. Grave Reaper approach. Look at the way that Unbiased is navigating the airspace, using the Mistfinder to do a full stop on our jump arc there to not run into the Grave Reaper. And we've done some drifts to avoid some of this pressure, but super. We'll get a lift off here. Fubuki not quite able to close, but this close slash will achieve victory for Fubuki.
Yeah, the pickup off of the EXE Beast was not enough to kill, but still just a deep run in close slash seals the deal for game number 1. Already still so down to the wire, so I am not going to be surprised if this set is another Game 5 barn burner like we've been seeing the rest of this top 8.
Yeah, my goodness. Out of this entire top 8, the most explosive one we had was SQ and Razzo with SQ at the 3-0. And then, of course, Hotashi 3-2 over SYMPHUUKAI. But you're already dashing, close the gap here. Nice 6P. Oh, no.
Okay, while the Assault keeps the pressure up, yeah, but that frame trap between the /5H catches out Fubuki. Still off of that high wall spot, not quite ready to break the glass.
Pro there. It's stained out again. Try to open up after this pressure. It's not going to work out because it's still going to be Fubuki's turn. Dash under 6P, avoiding the deal. And honestly, it had to be the 6P that avoids that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hard knockdown off of the Nostrovia. Not going to go for the tap dust this time. Not 5D, but went for 60. That whip in front of Unbiased ear space gives them the opportunity to tie up the health lead. Burst available on both sides, so Fubuki spends it.
Effort here. P. Nice finish here from Fubuki.
Clean confirm. Had the 50 meter to stabilize, so not even going to try and go for a tricky JP air-to-air conversion. Just use the resources to find that kill, but counter hit here for Unbiased tumbles you into the corner. JH still has state applied. Careful.
Nope. Oh, geez, trying to challenge the Abyss Fighter, but a little bit too far. Fubuki. Again, catching backdash. Very great call out here from Fubuki, but the throw from Unbiased. Boom!
Maybe a little super PRC action to escape the corner. That flow slash just going unanswered, but full screen burst going to catch out the charge on the Grave Reaper.
Nice 6P.
Yeah. Chopped up. Scooped with the triple Arbiter sign. Okay, didn't go for 3, and we low profiled with the 2K. You ain't even have to do all that, but Fubuki not going to get you let you get away with any free plus frames. Again, TP far slash. They've been doing so much work to go for this cross under anti-air.
I can't believe that we just did the 2K to low profile. That's super. That's insane. Like,
Yeah,
talk about complete control over Unbiased ear. Like, what is Johnny to do at a full screen range? And you pulled every card in the book, and it's still not going to stop Fubuki's onslaught here with this 2-0 lead.
I mean, you know, that's how it goes in, professional card games, right? You run out of cards in your deck, and you end up losing the match. And it's the same thing here for Unbiased ear. But still got one more game at least here. Let's see if we can start this reverse sweep strong. Looking for something off of these misfinders, but again, the TP's been so tricky from Fubuki.
Go. Crashing away. The tele. Are you kidding me? How are you so quick with it? Both you and SYMPHUUKAI have been pulling off some great maneuvers here with Testament tonight.
Right? Ooh, yeah, the dash block just trying to see if we look for the reversal on Unbiased near side, but a super for super. We chomp with the EXE Beast. Fubuki, one round away from a clean 3-0 sweep.
Jeez, yep, dash up, still got the throw. The deal for a guard crush potential, but we get the double jump out. Fakes the teleport. Either we forgot we don't have a stain setup here, or suck this rather. Or just wanted extra airtime. Fubuki gonna pay for that. The bias getting that strong shatter massively for holding the corner.
Yeah. All right. ADJH pulling up here, but tried to swing with a far slash. Good challenge on the 6B, but so much HP to work with. You need like 3 straight hits and a solid confirmed 50% on the board here for Fubuki.
No, 6H, just get an extra ground bounce there. Corner positioning, we're really catching up. Teleport away. Far slash connection.
Oh, yes! Okay, just barely came up with burst in time. I like the idea from Unbiased here to go immediately into the super, but that burst came up in time, but actually ends up working out not in Fubuki's favor because they lost the round either way. So now no burst on either side.
The line here does get, oh my god, the teleport right behind you, nothing personnel. There it is though. We have a 100 meter on the side of Unbiased. YRC is a potential, but we're not going to even need it here. We already got a great conversion with a couple deals. It's still going.
What's his name? Pulling up as we send you straight to the glass, but it's still not the kill even with the low Testament HP. We have burst available, but honestly a straight hit might just kill in general. So Fubuki betting it all on the gold burst, but gives the game to Unbiased here.
I mean, just that last series of events there, Fubuki was just caught reeling, and it kept going from Unbiased ear.
All right, here, let's see if we can keep this momentum to bring us to a game number 5. I said at the top of the set, wouldn't be surprised if we'd see one, but I mean, the momentum from Fubuki, again, these cross-under TPs into far slashes, sometimes coming out as a close slash if Unbiased ear dashes themselves a little bit too close for comfort, or even looking for a little bit of a 2K to catch that same dash as well with a swipe low. I mean, it's been working out perfectly with these, you know, tricky mobility options.
Nice, got the 5 feet anti-air, so we chase things down. Again, look at this, constant.
Pulling up.
Deal set up there, but we got the double jump still going, misses the air throw. Comes down with the back throw.
Tricky timing on the delayed double jump just made it so weird for Unbiased here to try and find the anti-air air throw. Does find the ground throw here. JK whipped on the other side, but do we have time to bait out the EXE beast? It doesn't matter because we have another 50 for this PRC.
Arbiter there to close out the round. Yeah, I honestly bought ourselves a little bit of time there off that super. Nice close slash anti-air. Teleport back, you know, free get out of jail card there as we continue to pressure for this corner.
Yeah, off of that knockdown, I was wondering, usually we're going for the crow, but maybe a little bit more aggressive from Fubuki just to make sure we have even more screen space to work with. I like it. Now we send it with the full charge Grave Reaper straight into the Nostrovia as we break the glass again. The Arbiter side trying to stay out of range of the YRC, but I see that swing of the far slash. That's Joker trick to try and advance with the reversal super.
Let's get off. Place the mid-screen here with the YRC, and there it is. Fubuki teleporting out of dodge, giving Unbiased ear something to chase down. This is where it becomes really annoying. Had this life lead, and it's unfortunately going to be the thing that brings you down with the 3-1 victory. Fubuki dedicated themselves to making this character work. Certainly in a far better state now than what they were at the launch state, but this is, again, just one of those players that has really gone through thick and thin on their character release, and MJ really putting in a name for themselves on this Johnny. But fortunately, a couple hops from Jack. There we go. Saturn, nice success just for it.
Already off to a great start here, trying to hold on to some space with this 2S. Swipe on through with the 5H as well, but Jack just staying right out of range.
Use Xboxing, of course, here. Strong life lead, 50% in the tank as well.
Cancel JS, but waiting out. Yeah, the 2P able to recover more than in time here to block out that YRC.
Jeez, Stank has been applied here. 6K just to get the extended juggle. Very early burst, not a ton of damage coming from Jack here, so that's all right to kind of reset the neutral for MJ. Would rather get the burst now before positive bonus, which is now inevitable.
All that meter back, all the resources in the world. Yeah, we're looking a little rough on the focus, but we have enough time to stall that out with the strike throw. That's why we're looking for 2Ps, these 6Ks, these staggers, just to try and make sure that we are cycling these resources as best we can.
Even if we do run out of those resources, Jack has been so efficient at just applying mix, even without concentration, without bullets. We've seen it before, but FD for your life. MJ getting caught in this corner. IRC finally has an opportunity, but will not get the throw. R slash will work, though.
Right up with the 2D, looking for a little slide action. That 2K, we stick out the little leggy. It's not the worst thing in the world, but all you need is one more hit. So far slash takes game number 1.
Yeah, it is so difficult for Johnny to try to fight back against Happy Chaos here, right? Because you already had to deal with gunshot pressure, those extended normals here from Far Slash, and even when gun is drawn, that 2S is just so devastating to deal with coming from Happy Chaos. And as you were saying, like fishing for those kind of pretty close to mid-screen normals here against a character like Johnny, who has to be so preemptive in a lot of their attacks, right? Especially when it comes to far slash, to gain that safety net, to be able to shut things down, to put out like misfiners, even card deals like this here. We took that single step back, which does give the room for far slash connect first.
Yeah, exactly. Johnny, one of these characters that, you know, can be so good at the reactive play or preemptive play with the range that he has and the dash mobility that, you know, going into this matchup where you have to worry about, you know, whiff gunshot, even if the normals themselves are a little bit shorter than what Johnny can, you know, normally reach, still pretty terrifying. We're cranked on the risk here.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a great sequence here. Still going to get cranked on risk. Good block, guard crush, and look at the delay. Massive delay to get the counter hit 2S. That's a round for him. Oh, whoa, whoa. No air throw, no air to air, nothing. We just say, hey, how you doing up in the skies?
Yeah, right? Just a little, you know, handshake, but no handshake, right? Because they didn't even go for the throw. They were like, oh, just passing by like planes in the night.
You're not close enough for the shatter. Oh, Lord have mercy. Quite the 6K. Yeah, and then you get to that max range, you go for the super to close that gap, to get the shatter.
Ooh, and runs up that throw bait too, all the damage, even just off the first hit in Sengo, right? Ooh.
Well, we're going to return that with the corner carry. A little bit too high for slump state, so we will go for this hard knockdown on the super. Better the odds. MJ with a 100 meter. How do you spend it? No YRC until now once we get that 2S.
See that deal PRC as well. Just keep the turn up, but no card to be seen. Oh, it catches on the back. That's with the JS. You have to burst there to stay alive.
That was insane because we still had another round ahead of us, but MJ said, I am going to succeed no matter what. I'm one touch away from victory. I know I got this. And the throw of all things to finish out the round there.
Yeah, back throw incident if I've ever seen one. We're tied up 1 apiece now, especially after a pretty commanding game number 1. This is a good way to try and keep up here for MJKurase, saying, all right, was down 1, but I'm not out. I can still keep up with the best of them.
Yeah.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
A little bit of that back and forth. If MJ can, again, be preemptive on some of these strikes. I mean, look at that reach that Johnny has. Already close range quarters here for Jack.
Yeah, it's an interesting spacing game between these two, right? Because like we mentioned before, Johnny's normals are going to be able to outspace Jack. But if we're outside of Johnny normal range, yes, we have dash to, you know, try and change up that spacing and make our way back into misfiner, back into far slash. But when you give Happy Chaos the opportunity to steady aim, if he has the bullets and the concentration to spare, he can run up and start close range pressure exactly like we're seeing right now.
Yep, but without any bullets here, we're going to have to see some of that close range pressure that we're so used to Jack being able to cycle back into. And this is a key moment here for MJ. One, because we got the round, but also not giving Jack that distance like you were mentioning. Of just like, if you're just being relentless with these far-reaching normals, that gave Jack no opportunity for a reload. Nice air throw.
Redeal. Yeah, just scooped out of the skies, just trying to stay outside of misfiner range, but only to get brought back down to earth for it.
Yo, nice underneath, but didn't get the shatter we needed. Wrong misfiner here. That doesn't cost MJ this round here. We'll see how the rest of it plays out because we do have all these resources. Respect watching 2S into YRC or a little bit early.
Ooh, okay, jump over the misfiner. Yeah, have to look for the air throw, so finds the tech here for Jack.
Great counter hit 6P. And another shatter for positive bonus.
Up the health lead. And we have the meter advantage as well when it's a one-touch situation on both sides. Absolutely looking in Jack's favor. The immediate super to lock out the burst.
Goodness. Great call here from Jack. We're starting out even here.
One apiece on the rounds in the games as well. Again, the full run-up off of the steady aim, being a little greedy off these at-the-ready shots because we've already established so much respect on MJKurase. So that avoids the focus burnout too from Jack.
Jeez, with the last bullet there, taking a back step away with the far slash connecting. Nice 2D. MJ gonna get the Tiger D misfiner here into super. Jack has one bullet in a dream here at this point. Ooh, gold burst. The drift worked out, and what a 6P! Going right through that far slash, but super reversal for MJ. That will be a game.
There we go. The J stops the 6P in their tracks. MJKurase now up 2-1 over Jack. And I mean, already sent down to losers earlier than we usually expect, right? We almost take it for granted that Jack is going to be on the winner's top 8 side. And, you know, a lot of times in that winner's finals as well. So sent down here might be out at number 7 if we're not able to tie things back up against MJKurase.
Shoot. Yeah, I mean, at this point, the fluctuation of top 8 lineup has been very interesting at TNS, right? Of course, Danny is one of those regular appearances in top 8 here, but over at Evo Japan, probably still relaxing on their flight home, or they're still hanging out there. But there's still quite the spread of characters usually in our top 8s, and the fact that we have 2 repeating Johnnies is absolutely insane, really. But unfortunately, Jack is putting in the work on MJ right now.
To tie it up hella fast, and we send it with a positive bonus. Look, we're just barely at that focus burnout, but we're not going to send any of these gunshots, and it's fine to be in burnout now when we got BRC. We don't even need the constant. Oh, we ain't gotta do all that, Jack. Just getting your steps in.
Want to do a little bit of meter build for later.
Yeah, that's true. Saving it for the next round, right?
Guard crush here. Whoa, delay 2K doesn't quite work out here for MJKurase. MJ gonna get jabbed out of Jack. We get bursting on the wrong side too. That's unfortunate. Nice.
Yeah, FD's not going to save you. It still ends up getting pushed into the card, so these plus frames just keep on looping. The meter keeps on generating, but Jack able to weather the storm. Still not enough for Deus Ex Machina, so no hard knockdown to be seen. Scary, it's threatening the Mistfinder RCs, but sends it out with the far slash. Finds a whip punish here for Jack to stay alive.
Go. Let's have stank applied here for the curse and 50% meter. Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe we wanted to drift on that one and just didn't get it. Jump and stall as well for it, just to get out of dodge. There's our drift. And got the whip punish. 2K left out there lingering. Not enough to finish, but the tap dust will be.
Here we go. Tap dust gunshot brings us to game number 5. It's down to the wire here in the loser's side.
Winner of this will get to go up against Razzo in the loser's quarters.
Let's see it. I mean, you could be up against any number of characters in that loser's quarterfinal, but you gotta lock in for what's in front of you right now. The FDC JS, the backdash coming out from MJ, but it's still not enough to escape. So we have to use the burst. We have to thank Rise Rookies for stopping on by just in time for the final game for our loser's top 8 side. 50 meter available for MJ, so it should be a clean wall break with this Joker trick. No, we still got What's My Name for a cleaner wall break and that extra damage.
Nice jump in, no? YRC wants a little bit of breathing room. Oh, nice. J2K this time around here.
Go delaying the shot off of that 2K2D. YRC gives you a little bit of breathing room here. We still got BRC behind it to set the card too, and we find the hit, but it's still, oh, never mind. I forgot about OTG missed finder.
Jay looking very strong right now. Nice roll through though. Oddly enough, I feel like that's like the first or second one I've seen. Not as many that we usually get from Jack, but that is the distance game that you play against Johnny. Not as many opportunities.
Yeah, we're just leaving the roll in the back pocket here when we need it the most. It's set point MJKurase, so we got to go back to the old use. Strike throw is not enough, and neither is the spacing game. We send it with Deus Ex Machina, and I think it should be the kill with this wall break damage. No, those abs keep you alive for one more hit. Flash the FD.
Hit though. No guard crush. Nice backdash. Using the red RC after the 6S from Jack here, just to buy us a little bit more time of offensive pressure. Final round here in the set.
kept it a little bit tricky. Used the meter instead of the gun resources just in case we weren't able to find the kill. But like you said, final game, final round. Burst down from Jack, but finds the counter at close H. No burst either side now, but Kurase, MJ, fight yourself back out of the corner any way you can.
With no concentration available, that was opportunity for MJ to keep peppering with these far slashes here.
I think off that far slash didn't go quite far enough, so might have needed the Joker trick, but instead we saved the meter for the deal, BRC. We find the hit as well. Now Jack on one touch.
Yeah, it's such an unfortunate timing for Jack to toss out the curse. Guard crush. There it is. Game, set, and match. 3-2 victory for MJKurase, knocking out Jack. And quite the set so far here tonight's top 8. All right, here we go.
All right, we're back on into it. We're loaded in. Got the mint green pulling up for SYMPHUUKAI's side. Fubuki, of course, in the white and hot pink. Pulling up with a purple on that stain state as well. Finds the counter at start.
Nice 6P on the jump in here. Universal Llama with the raid. Thank you so very much.
Hey, yeah, stopping on by just in time here. We got the charge S Reaper. Try and look for some of these plus frames, but it looked like we PRC'd a 6P. What if we just didn't believe and didn't end up going for an anti-air afterwards either? Oh, so this is something that we haven't really seen in some of the other matches. Now we're baiting out the DP, right? Of course, we know that the, a master of your own character is going to be aware of when we're looking for this DP. Okay, never mind. Instead, we're just going to send it straight to the Charge S Reaper.
I mean, hey, but we still sat right on top of that teleport location. It's indicated by where the succubus has landed on the screen. So as long as you're within that space, able to kind of react immediately, you can still challenge with teleports. Yeah. Oh, no way. SYMPHUUKAI?
Even the brain drain on that wild assault still wasn't enough. Able to burst out in time, but runs right into the TP, or into the Grave Reaper off the TP, rather.
Yeah. Big gamble to try to survive with the last-ditch effort on that burst. He didn't have the health to really survive any additional onslaught. Goes for the up Reaper, not going to work out as it trades for low.
Ooh, yeah, obstructed by the Grave Reaper there. Tricky on the TP. Right, one more touch here for Fubuki. Not quite in the BRC slowdown. I like the backdash just to avoid that, but still pulls up for the throw. Fubuki, clean game number 1.
Going to get a very dominant showing here. The mastery of these players with their own characters, right? And I do like the fact that SYMPHUUKAI was sitting right on top of those teleports, just denying that. And that is the note that you take, that Fubuki is very proficient at doing teleport setups, whereas SYMPHUUKAI does them generally as follow-ups. Fubuki uses it as escape option and then just a combo extension, or even just opening up the opponent for mixed potentials. There's multiple layers to each teleport here. But SYMPHUUKAI will usually kind of just do hard knockdown teleport. There it goes.
Standing on the succubus and charging up the S Reaper is smart. I wonder if we're going to start seeing a little bit more Arbiter sign to try and challenge at that full range. But of course, we're looking to charge up once we see that jump back, right? And that's normally when we're seeing the TP. Speaking of the jump, that air throw put you back into the corner.
Nice low Arbiter.
The Reapers. Now we got Stain State applied. There we go. It's the Arbiter to challenge that full range.
A little bit of a drift backwards here to see if there's any sort of burst to go, and there it calls it out. Fubuki not quite able to finish it, but we do have Stain to apply here for that pressure. Back into the Arbiter.
You guys are right. There is a lot on the screen to look for, and especially as they swap up sides, it's pretty difficult to tell which succubus is actually yours. So it's TP, overhead Arbiter. There's so much to look at, and the screen is shaking like crazy.
Here's the hint. It's SYMPHUUKAI's succubus. If the succubus is green, it's a black succubus. If it's Fubuki's, it's all color coordinated, folks. Although it's still hard to see. It's just blink and you're going to miss it.
Exactly. You got the white crow that turns black into the Raven, and then all of a sudden you're looking for the colors of the succubi, and you're getting caught with the Stain State. It's, oh no, it's the Covid handshake to the whip throw. And the double, but not enough for the kill.
Here we go. Slash comes through. Teleports out. Nice block from the Arbiter.
Chat said, I'm colorblind, Sag. If either one of these players is colorblind, that is definitely a disadvantage in this mirror, I gotta say. But disadvantage on the life lead only to get it evened up with this anti-air Stain proc close S.
Oh no! Alright, just on the cusp of victory was Fubuki, but SYMPHUUKAI survives. This. Nice jump in here. Yeah, you can't low Reaper from that position here because that's an easy jump in on that position, but calls out the teleport with a throw.
A little back throw action, run up to H, that's burst out. Ooh, okay, I like the stall TP to go over the Reaper. Just make sure that we're also not getting caught up at the stain state apply from the Crow.
Unfortunate that 6B gonna get whip punished there. Nice stain.
Stain, you find the pickup off of the far slash here, and that 6H wall splat is the kill with the Nostrovia last hit. All right, Fubuki 2-0 right now.
Trying to make quick work at this mirror, showcasing this mastery. Someone called out as well, and I can corroborate this. Fubuki did win the last time these two crossed paths. I was there.
Oh, okay.
I saw it.
Saw it with my own 2 eyes.
It's
a legendary battle, but only one of them made it out. But back to life here. I don't know, Fubuki might be writing it in history even, further into the stone tablet. Let's see if SYMPHUUKAI is going to be able to swap it up here. You need a reverse sweep to do that, though.
Where do I get a reverse sweep from? Do they keep that like the broom store?
You go to a broom store in Australia, and when everything is like upside down, you also have to check out at the register upside down, which makes it a little difficult.
Now wait a minute, that's because they're below the equator and it does the rotate, like the toilets, right? The toilets flush in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I got it.
And then when you burst, it actually brings the opponent closer into you. Same with the TP, where normally we're trying to retreat and take some space, on the other side of the screen, but instead we're using it as an approach tool for Fubuki to force out this burst from SYMPHUUKAI.
Huge conversion here. Double jump at the same side, teleport, not able to get out of this corner.
I like the adaptation coming out here from Mouqui. A lot of times we've been seeing this stall just catch you out on any attempt to try and anti. So instead, the patience to chill out and wait for the 6P.
There, that was some dirty shenanigans. Not only did you get 6P'd, you had to hold the stain, and then a pod landing, blessing the dome with the Arbiter sign. Rude.
You didn't get trip guarded, but you got, even worse, right? You're down backing on the way down, you immediately get high checked. As soon as you land, it's like, oh, come on, man. State apply, just stuck in the corner once again, just building up so much meter. TP, 2S, no belief in the confirm.
He survived only just to get shattered because of the stain additional hit here. That's a perfect round for Fubuki.
And it's set point as well, pretty even on the burst situation. I thought it'd be far slash, but they synced up on the 2S. Close enough here, but looking for the Arbiter sign. It's a committal jump in from SYMPHUUKAI.
JH really hitting the mark there off counter hit.
Ooh, felt the TP in my bones, and there we go. We find the catch. Even off these double backdashes with the far S, you do not have the natural mobility to escape yourself with how far these normals go.
The clash off the Grave Reaper. Yeah, I got cross-eyed there. Sorry, chat. It's over. I think Fubuki got cross-eyed in that interaction too, because I don't know how you would have kept up which way you went.
That's what I'm saying. These double TPs, you're like, oh, I'm on the other side. You end up swapping back, and you're like, wait, I can barely tell what's going on. But sometimes all you need is a long-range button like far slash to, stabilize the job. So SYMPHUUKAI stabilizes the bleeding a little bit. It's not a clean 3-0 for Fubuki just yet. You still need 2 more in a row.
Yeah, that camera interaction, those last few moments really kind of threw things off a bit here, but Fubuki is still showcasing quite a bit of control throughout the set, but gets anti-aired off of that 6P. Early burst. Nice little boon for SYMPHUUKAI.
Go double 2K. I really thought that H Reaper was going to catch the TP, but just barely able to avoid. Maybe it was the delay that actually saved you. Counter hit, yeah, Reaper, but that TP once again.
Side B?
Tried to stand on business with the succubus, but again, like we mentioned before, now we're threatening with the Arbiter sign, making it so you can't just charge S Reaper for free.
Exactly. Does have stain. Missed the 6P. That's a huge whip punish opportunity there for SYMPHUUKAI.
Little PRC action looking for the non-committal 5P, but ends up TPing behind you. Again, nothing personnel. So we send it with the Arbiter sign. Now we're taking to the skies. BRC to stabilize. So smart from SYMPHUUKAI.
Go
Scary
PRC,
looking for the
not able to get the throw, but while landing, we get the throw punish.
I can't believe it. You were a little bit too early, but we still looked for the tech and you got punished for it. You had the right idea, but, you know, ends up working out well in SYMPHUUKAI's favor. There we go. Air stall with his TP.
Damn. Nice. Arbiter side taking a bite out of crime here.
Chomped up this Arbiter sign doing work. Like you mentioned, the clashes on the Grave Reapers. Sniped out here with the toss.
6H to keep you locked into a grounded position there. No jump escape.
That's 2K whiff into backdash to whiff punish their 2K. All right, Fubuki once again on set point.
Nice 6P on the dash up. Kind of put a zone in game. We already had the preemptive succubus set up there for a teleport.
Proc the Stain State off of that extended hurt box, but because it was so far across the screen, it's no confirm. Find another Stain State. Now, on set point, no burst to SYMPHUUKAI's name. You have to weather the storm, but no pickup off the 5K, just too far.
Just have a single 5P right there to try to chase things down and try to go 2K, but Fubuki was already airborne. You see the setup here off the succubus and the Stain State, so if we got hit off that initial Arbiter side, that would have been a teleport coming from Fubuki.
Yeah, I like the idea, just staying still with the TP, but it's TP throw to seal the deal. Fubuki ends SYMPHUUKAI's run at number 5.
As we get into our next set, it is going to be Razzo on the Slayer up against MJ's own Johnny.
Okay, so no Leo to be seen here. We have a, you know, unconventional mobility, right? You know, with the dashes and the Mappa hunches to try and fish for a whiff punish here on Slayer's side. But, you know, not going to be dealing with the Leo step dash here. Any way to try and, you know, aggress upon Johnny. Again, someone that we've been talking about this entire night as incredible dash mobility. So tricky to try and play reactive around him when he has some of the longest normals in the game and so many ways to, you know, quickly change up that spacing.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big factor here is just how close Razzo can close this gap against Johnny. We'll see if we get that wide berth that we're looking for. 2S, there's no backing off here at all, and still the opening gambit for Razzo was the backdash, or actually just dandy step into the hammer.
I was gonna say we got the ketchup and mustard palettes going on here, but I'm trying to think of what, like an orange sauce.
It's
we got the sweet and sour, maybe, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. We got honey and maple syrup.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, we got Mappa hunches, you know, all the way across the screen. If one doesn't work, let's try and go for a second, but MJ still able to land on the other side.
Dark Crush here. Tiger Knee not going to get full setup here, but the God Hand. Yeah, I'm not blocking. Anyways, take me to the next round, please.
Yeah, I'll see you later. There's no burst to be seen here. 2H and charge it up into the pile bunker. There we go. It was a rough start for Razzo, but still able to stabilize.
That was a big leap of faith there. Coming from Razzo and MJ with the far slash counter hit. Jeez, what a
There we go. Comes up to the back throw instant. The micro dash. We set the card and we go for the TK Mistfinder 2.
Massive lead for MJ. Trying to catch up in rounds.
Wonder what we caught from Razzo. Maybe looking for another backdash cancel and just ended up getting caught by that IAD JH. Another J. Stock on the board here. There's no way we go for it again, right? Surely. Okay, now it's just a mash out 2P.
Well.
All right, never mind. If 2 works, why would we ever not go for 3?
It's a hat trick, as it were.
It's true. All right, no footsies to be seen, but maybe a little football action in the corner here. Just looking for the vacuum off of the 2S. A huge counter hit starter for Razzo. The super Mappa hunch just chews away at the HP.
What's the far? That's basically what we're looking for. Dandy K.
Looking for the low, that little sweep action, but yeah, off the delayed burst again. We've been seeing this in a lot of sets. The immediate super, even if it leaves a little bit of damage on the table, just so we don't have to play that burst mini game and put you in one-touch territory. Now Razzo up 1.
That's a fine plan because you're already getting that hard knockdown. So what else are you going to do? You have to go for that raw burst or hope you have resources to contest on the next wake-up interaction. So it's easier to take that damage right then and there. You get better Oki anyway.
Yeah, you get a little bit better Oki. I mean, we've seen situations where, you know, players are in that same, I'm up against the wall with burst and like, you know, 1 HP. What do? We've seen YOLO Deflect Shield. We've seen YOLO Gold Burst as well to varying effects. Also seen the attempt to punch her way on through after this round start, but MJ with the backdash, just waiting for Razzo to win.
Oh no. I mean, an amazing burst right there for Razzo. Gonna get that position swap, but so is MJ with the back throw. That's not gonna work out. Red RC, the fast addition.
No card required for the conversion. You had that RC behind it, and the positive bonus too. You're fine with waiting this out. You even spend a little meter for that FD. Still, you got BRC available, just threatening a fuzzy situation off of these 100 steps.
Able to get the cleanup here. Had a ton of life potential there to try to survive. A little bit of an onslaught from Razzo. But the sooner you close out, the better. Dash up 2P.
Yeah, the delay 2B, catching out the startup of something there from Razzo. Maybe a far slash, but either way, slashing on through with this Ensenga to break the glass.
Oh, just outside the range of the map, a hunch. Age. Quite a 2K sequence here. Side swap closer to this west side of the screen. Yeah, that'll be a punish right there.
Map a punch, more like map a punish. Instead, we're going straight into the Joker trick, but it's not going to be the kill just yet. We have RC though. Okay, immediate burst from Razzo. We don't hold on.
That was almost. These blocks!
Oh, we're looking for the universe counter hit from down. We got the super map a hunch, but it's still not enough, even off the tumble stage super.
Oh, not even blocked this time. The Dandy K. MJ thinking the overhead was going to come through likely and tried to stand block. Oh, geez, close slash, catching the dash. We'll take that into throw.
Eventually, you had to bite. No bite to be seen. Instead, it's these pile bunker loops that chew through the HP once again. For 6B, maybe looking to, you know, counter poke this far slash.
Got the 2P. Just enough to at least get a positive bonus. But look at all the meter that Razzo has. The 6K will get called out immediately.
I see you in the middle of this, but
just a bit more of that first gauge too. What a finish from Razzo.
Just lock you out of any opportunity to fight back. Razzo 2-0 right now.
Excellent call out there. You know, it was those last few moments because generally you wouldn't have been able to get the kill, but because we saved that RC a little bit there, able to extend after him, and we have full meter. We had the corner carry, so great call to go for that wild assault to buy yourself a little bit more time and just seal MJ's fate.
Immediate burst down here, not trying to give that early positive bonus once again. Okay, we're swinging on through with the 2L and able to avoid with the 6K, but we do put ourselves into the corner with no burst to be seen.
Oh no. Wait a minute, Razzo giving no quarter to MJ, sitting right underneath the timer. Throw? Sorry, I forgot the backside. Oh no.
It was a very heavy close slash, I'll tell you that much.
No kidding.
The router punching. Oh, all right, that's evil work. The fast BRC down. We take the round 2. It's set point Razzo.
How do you move like that? You know, like, be for real.
Be so for real. You're telling me Slayer's got mobility like this? He does have the punch that keeps him young, and he also has that map a hunch. Once again, we're looking for any way to try and aggress on MJKurase, but no whip punished instead. MJ just taken to the skies and taken to the corner to find a punisher. Oh my god.
It's so fascinating that Razzo is willing to take like a straight hit just to close the gap. Super
that keeps you young. We're sending it with the 100 meter, and it's a clean kill, a straight punch to the solar plexus.
As we get in this winners finals, we'll see if SQ can continue this run. I mean, had a strong performance, 3-0 victory over Razzo on the semi side of things, but remember, folks, when you put Razzo in loser's side, you've activated her 11th power. All right, so she's coming back full force potentially through this loser's run here, but We'll see if SQ could still hold strong up against Hotashi for this winter final start with an early burst strip away from Hotashi.
Nah, that is devious. We send the diagonal sword toss, the flip kick to swap the sides and put us back up against the corner once again, and 100 meter for the Mortabato. Any throw kills.
Oh, she's pushing all the way. Already had that guard crush to the left, right again?
But you just barely up against the corner. It's tricky. Is there a little bit of space for you to cross up? Is she going to air dash back or just stay on the other side? I mean, there's so much to have to worry about. We're just trying to find anything with Beyblade. Oh, just do it again.
Back slashes from SQ have been on point. Calling out the BSU. Full corner carry on top of it with the Rekka series. Yo, whip punish the 5K. SQ is locked in right now, but wait a minute. We got that back throw.
Oh, brother. Maybe the beginning and the end. 3 throws in a row. We swipe out with a 6H, and we got the super behind it to Hotashi. He's going to tie up the rounds here post-super. See all that blood just disappear.
Is that what they call a throw loop, J2? Is that?
This is what our brothers over in the Street Fighter pond are going through day after day. Just a fraction of their
everywhere.
Throw loops are everywhere with those with eyes to see them, I guess. Oh, yeah, a little bit too far, so we just go for double 6K to stay right in range. Oh, yes.
Wait a minute.
Oh, brother.
Ah, this is a scramble if I ever saw one. We do have 50% meter. Red RC to extend. There we go, 6H.
What a world.
How do you define a throw loop, chat? Honestly, is it because you've thrown 3 times? What is the looping?
Yeah, what is the platonic ideal of a throw loop? Is it the hopelessness of the situation, or is it the self-instated prison of down backing in the corner?
How long between a throw until it's no longer a throw loop? Like, does it have to be instantaneous? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, where does one draw the line between throw loop and thug shaker mind control? Like, I think there's a distinction to be made there, but I think the line is a little bit blurrier than we might imagine, right?
Yeah, I'm just, a common everyday lawyer here. Not really, but I would have to say maybe my client is innocent of throw looping.
But we are Mortabato looping. We're hard knockdown looping as we send Hotashi back into the corner. I was going to say this is good because it's deja vu for SQ, and then I looked at the score counter. I'm like, maybe you want a little bit better than repeating the last game.
What rage here?
6K just to stay in close range. A little too far for that close S.
Jesus. What'd you know?
Got me hiccuping on the JH, bro.
Rekka series here. Windshield wipers to keep it clean for a wall shatter. Try to activate with this close slash to open up anti-air, but SQ, she's coming out on top in this round. Bato reversal, we have to beat her to finish the job. How fast was that? That wasn't even 10 seconds. What? We completed a game in like 30 seconds.
SQ looked at the East Coast time zone and she said, all right, watch this. I got to lock in for my, East Side brothers. I got to make sure that they can go to sleep on time. Well, we're already past that. But, just trying to speed run it here in the winners finals. See he's catching up on the pings on the side.
Yeah, thank you so much for the subscription. Nagoriyuki player 92.
He's looking to the channel point rewards as we speak, and he's like, all right, if you guys spend 10K, I'll swap over to Bridget, but he only got 9K in the bank. We're sending it with the Wild Assault, though, to get a little bit of early corner carry.
Big jump H. Oh my goodness, the backdash. What are you grabbing? Nice explosion. 6H for Shatter here.
A little bit of blood to work with here. No hard knockdown for SQ, but again, that positive bonus is bumping. You're going to have to worry about Super PRC soon.
Chat, I want to let you know that Hotashi has had enough. That delay for 6P and then waiting for a whip punish to get the far slash. Yeah, that was, or the heavy slash, rather, that was enough. I'm good.
He said, I'm good.
Resets the slash series there.
Yeah, betted all on the far slash Rekka as well. We were so high on the blood that, any of these cancels would have been rough unless we went for Fuki OBSU.
Good IBs. Nice stamp block at last second.
Oh, the match out.
Where do you go? What a 5P interrupt.
Ah! Okay, wait it out. Yeah, just get yourself a little bit more blood to work with. Wait for the drain. Blood drain again, no Eltonum, waiting for the anti-air far slash, and we get the pickup in the close slash too. Hotashi with another speed run in tow. Says, all right, I can do that too, SQ.
What's devastating is that Hotashi walked down SQ. Like, SQ did just air backdash, and Hotashi just kept walking. Like, I'm still coming for you.
He said, nah, I'm good. I don't need this Bridget mobility with the dash block. I just need a character that can kill SQ as fast as possible. None of this burst donation shenanigans. I need it to be 2 hits, and then I'm done. So it's 2-1 in our winners finals. Hotashi, 1 game away from securing his spot in Grands.
Says, I'm just going to hit really, really hard.
I'm going to go crazy. Let's see it. IBFD. Yeah, a little tricky on the setup there after the IEDJH. SQ just retreating back to full screen.
Rock. Reset, but what a 5P that actually negates that exposure for the sword toss. Great reaction from Hotashi.
Yeah, I wonder why we didn't go for the full far slash series to drain a little bit more blood. Maybe just a little bit better of a knockdown off of the far slash. 5H 6P. The mash out here from SQ.
Still trying to poke out with these 5Ps. Not blocking Rock here. Oof. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's resetting the neutral here off the super. So a little bit of resources on the side of SQ. She wants to spend and calls out the DP.
Wake up super, run up, attempting the throw, but it's one more burst ascendant. All the sword explosion just barely saves the round for SQ.
The DP, there's the 6K to approach.
Fuzzy jumps. Trying to escape, but just getting brought back down to earth with these 5Ks.
The guard crushing the leap! Okay. Barely a life lead here for Hotashi. As SQ, she gets a straight hit, but the Beyblade to let it rip. Not quite getting the shatter, but we got the OTG for extra damage on top. But the JH connecting here for SQ. She's trying to run with it here. Has the meter to continue.
Ooh. Here we go, immediate Mortabato. Hard knockdown, locked down to that 50% that Hotashi needs to try and escape. We have Deflect Shield available as well, but do we even want to spend it? Holding on strong in the corner as we get caught out of the fuzzy jump. The diagonal sword toss ties it up. We are going to game 5.
Okay. Feeling the power of the Ramlethal. I feel like SQ, she might be a little empowered after our World Tour finals, seeing Red Ditto taking that second finish at Evo Japan. You know, the power of Ramlethal is real this month.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about the power of May, you know, matching up with the name of the month, but I mean, Ramlethal coming up strong, especially as we head into this spring season. I mean, hard to remove her from the throne of character that's been good, I feel like, since the you know, inception of the game, but still holding on strong. And Nagoriyuki holding on strong here for Hotashi as we head into this final game. No swaps. We are sticking with the Blood Samurai.
I mean, not too far off. Nagoriyuki has gotten us 2 games thus far. Took a lead over SQ first. I think we're just keeping up pound for pound in terms of damage. Jeez, trying to go for 2S round start, but SQ faster on the draw with the far slash.
A little backdash here on that 5H. Instead gets windshield wipered back down to the ground. The walk back attempted to throw tech, but instead gets that shimmy close slash here for SQ.
Let's get that shatter here. Massive life lead. Sets up for sword toss with guard crush. It does get the JK.
Back JK, no low to be seen. Now SQ quickly on set point. We're pretty even on the burst situation too.
Oh no, meaty DP to start things off. Reset for throw. Nice backdash away.
Yep. Not gonna get a backdash incident of your own, but we still find the hop over side swap with the diagonal sword.
Nice, and a mix that we saw in the last sequence. Pretty mitigated there, but at the very least, we got this positive bonus reset for swords.
damage, really not the worst thing in the world. You thought that the Dara was going to build up the 50% for the RC, but it doesn't matter because now we have potential kill confirmed. The anti-air 5P, but the delay burst catches out SQ.
Good air block there at the heavy.
Just barely not gonna pop after the full blood. That was like 299 out of 300. We set the 5P.
I think that's why she was standing still, just to make sure we could call it out. But wait a minute! There's the rage!
Oh, you saw the sword toss! You didn't know! Oh,
No!
my God, you had the guaranteed kill. Last time you were like, oh, I guess he doesn't pop here. Now this time, we saw the full gauge, but she didn't believe. Now Hotashi might just bring them. Look, he's killing! He's at 70%, and he still has more with the close. No, it's 6K. It's a close slash. Oh my God, he's dead!
All she had to do was just watch the resources on the screen. You got to be kicking yourself after that, because she had certain victory. If she were watching the blood gauge when she jailed out Hotashi with the JP, it was for some of these stain states. We'll see as Razzo locks in Slayer for this loser set.
Yeah, I feel like one of my big questions going into this, right, is how familiar is Razzo in the Testament matchup? I don't, I would chalk it up to her to do her homework even against some of these less common matchups, but again, with the way that Fubuki and SYMPHUUKAI have been so tricky with all of the TPs and just setting the stains on some of these tricky, setups has been very difficult to try and deal with in the heat of the moment.
No kidding, and already a substantial life lead for Fubuki. But we do have a JK. Already full screen distance here. Nice regular throw, almost an air throw, but still got tossed.
It did toss them into the sky, and it did take the first round here for Fubuki, so close enough. But swinging at the skies. No, we're swinging at the ground with the 2S and getting whiff punished for it. But instead, that anti-air close slash comes out from Razzo.
Jeez, Pile Bunker already closing the gap here. Does get close slash. Oh, wait, he's still backdash away, avoiding the 2H.
Ooh, yeah, just trying to swing with the 6H, but gives you all the time in the world to super jump IAD out of the corner. Oh,
quite the
no
dosey go.
right?
The super catches. Of course it does. The punish.
Maybe we'd live in an unjust world if you were able to recover after that crow, set. Wait it out. Call with the overhead, and another overhead does the job. The stand dust.
Hello? Hey! Hey! Foul!
Keep it down over there, Razzo.
Those 3 far slashes. Is this so bad, guy?
Well, advancing far slash with some plus frames. I see some shades of bad guy in there.
Well, Arbiter sign for a positive bonus. We're even on health right now. Surely. Nice shot.
Cancel.
We're jumping. Teleport. Oh no, it was bait! Oh my God. Fubuki with the 2P.
We one hit confirmed that. Okay, I was gonna say. State. It's down to the wire. We have burst available for Fubuki. Oh, we're chilling. Okay, that's fine off the slide. Yeah, not gonna get burst baited this time. Knows you're looking for it off the jump cancel. So Fubuki takes game 1.
I'm so stressed. I can't believe I fell for the trap. Razzo, you set me up. Because I thought for sure, we have extra hang time. So I'm like, oh yeah, Fubuki's gonna teleport. But she knew that. Razzo knew that. PRC, I'm right on top of your teleport for the challenge here, but still Fubuki was able to get out. That was terrifying.
Already down to the wire off of the first game. It's hard to keep track. These are very, these are characters with very explosive movement, whether it's the TP immediately just swapping sides or the Mappa hunts just chasing you down from the other side of the screen. Trap off the 2K2D, finds a counter hit here and applies the stain state. Trucks through the 2.
See you here.
Alright, see you next round. Unless, okay, you just barely didn't build up the burst again. The immediate confirm into the super is so important to lock your opponent out of that burst situation.
With Dandy K. A little bit early on the 2H though.
Oh. We got Dandy K, we got 2H, we're just swinging at the ground right now. Fubuki cannot take to the sky, but you can take just a little bit off the ground with his back dash.
Jeez. Block for your life. Razzo with not even a cranked wrist gauge, but does get the tap dust to launch a little bit further after this counter. Side swap. Nice OTG.
Slash 2H, but it's the 2P RC to seal it out. As fast as we lost the first game, we're gonna take the second. It's 1-1.
We're gonna reset the connection after that. That was crazy. Things are getting a little hot and heavy on the servers right now.
We head back out to the lobby real quick, just to, you know, take a lap, walk it off.
I'd take a breather too. You see how aggressive Razzo's being? I'm terrified right now. Calling out some of
take
these
a second to
teleports.
yourself. You're just like, all right, you're doing too much. I'm trying to avoid you with the TPs. I'm trying to keep you at bay with the Grave Reapers, and you're still finding your way in. I gotta pull something else out of the hat.
Oh my goodness! Bring down the hammer, side swap, and a pile bunker.
TP on the other side, catch it with the uncharged Grave Reaper. Again, so tricky with the movement, but these stray hits are going to be enough. Now we find the Stain proc, but yeah, Burst catches you on the other side with the TP.
Still pressuring here, YRC to get a little bit of breathing room. Yet still, wait a minute, nice challenge here. Fubuki with a full shatter.
Since on the map though, we have 6H just to add a little bit of damage before that last hit. That's lethal.
How did you know? The jump install to avoid the 2H nuclear bomb of a counter hit.
Yeah, just take it to the skies. We have H Reaper if we need it. Proc the Stain State.
Mappa for counter hit here, and Mappa to push back to the corner. Nice air throw.
Yeah, super jump back air throw is clean. Catching out the escape opportunity that we've been seeing a lot from Fubuki. Standing on top of the seal, yeah, just making sure that you can't TP out.
Universe.
All right, we'll see you next round.
Is there anything that stops Razzo for a little bit? Just, you know, hey.
Nothing to be seen. You know, you have the burst advantage. Copy up. All right, let's see.
Yeah.
For the super jump back. Oh, okay, but cross under with the Mappa.
Double overhead here just to get the shatter set up.
We got Stain State applied. Now do we go for the IDJH? We do! Oh, we caught there from Razzo. Maybe a backdash.
Nice. Delay 2K here. Still chipping away at the health of Fubuki, who has all the meter in the world. Cancelable here to try to push out.
EXE Beast, PRC gets R slashed for your troubles. But now Razzo just waits it out. The standstill, the intimidating aura, but nothing to be found on the Conqueror's Hockey. You're a little bit too far for 2H, and the trade isn't enough to stay alive. Fubuki takes game number 3.
Yeah,
we are up.
That's fair, so we'll see how... If we can still... Honestly, we weren't too far off in terms of damage, but that's going to be a deciding factor. Because if you're approaching with the Mappa Hunch to close the gap, which is often what Razzo wants to do, that 6P is always a great tool. I mean, across the cast, really. Not even just a Testament exclusive.
Yeah. It's all good to just catch out some of these mid pokes. Instead, we pull up with a 5D. You thought you were safe after the Stain State proc, but Fubuki pulls up with the perfect. We're 1 round away from sealing it out.
Round start jump, nice 6P. Oh my goodness.
Maneuvering around anything we need.
Good block on the double overhead there, but sneaking in a throw. Stain. Fubuki running away with this round. Wait a minute.
Stain and get it right back off of the Nostrovia. We're about to have burst available for Razzo, but again, caught out. I wonder what we're looking for off this JH. I know if you get hit off of some of these situations, the JD doesn't reach, but it doesn't matter when it chips away at the HP. Another perfect for Fubuki, sealing it out in a 3-1.
Go into the Losers Finals with Fubuki and SQ.
There we go. And for quite some time, I feel like we would see this matchup and it was, oh, it's, you know, Ramlethal versus worse Ramlethal, right? Yes, we have Stain State that, you know, skews risk reward, but when you're against a character like Ram who has all the sword tosses, you have the rock, it's like tricky to, you know, try and stay alive, whereas Testament, more so this two-step character, it was rough. But now that we have a lot more speed on this machine gun Grave Reaper, feels a lot better, I think, for Fubuki going into Losers Finals.
Yeah, trying to space away here, does get called out for the teleport. SQ very quick on the draw.
Okay, partial charge on the S Reaper, yeah, but we're so far away that the 2K actually catches the approach from SQ.
Launch, 6H. Alright, SQ does have a ton of resources here, just a couple bits away from 100%.
Found off of that Arbiter sign, so SQ instead just absolutely reverses the momentum. Have a super available for Mouqui if we choose to spend, but instead it's the YRC.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gold burst. Positive bonus, adding an extended amount of offense here for SQ. She misses the rock setup, though. That was rock supposed to hit right behind Fubuki.
Yeah. There's a micro dash or a walk forward that allowed you to, you know, mess with the spacing, but now we send the H Grave Reaper. Just trying to be a little tricky, but we send out a save 5P.
5P called out the burst, and this is a bad look for Fubuki going into this next round.
There we go, a little Stain State proc here as we bring you to the corner. Back, maybe trying to catch out a JS of SQ's own. Now stuck on the other side. No Stain State to have to worry about, but your light confirmed range for a kill.
Here just for the finish. I mean, SQ, she's not too far off, but with all the resources on the side of Fubuki, this is going to be troublesome. Nice.
There we go.
Waiting for the teleport.
Explosion. Yeah.
Yeah, that is literally why we did not press the issue on the sword toss. We're waiting for Fubuki to go on that teleport. This is great recognition for SQ.
Okay, let's go for ID back JH to put up that wall, but when you're teleported right behind and we made out the burst too, the catch with the Arbiter's sign is enough to tie up the rounds.
Very unfortunate here, so going into this round with no burst, and hey, now we're just even Stevens at this point. 6P!
There we go, yeah, rock right behind, like you mentioned, just keeping the vacuum pressure on the tap on the toes with the 2K in tandem with the sword explosion. And we're one touch away, even though we have so much HP left, this positive bonus and extra damage just cranks the risk.
Toss here, yeah. Unfortunately, without any swords. And no attention to your name at all, so no super to try to get a hard knockdown, but you're not going to need it at this point.
Yeah, now any light confirm is going to be enough. Any of these 5Ps, 2Ks, still got to be scared of the Stain State, just rapidly building up that meter for Fubuki with every proc.
Oh my goodness, jump back slash. The windshield wipers to finish the job here. SQ will take the first game.
Right, but already so toe-to-toe. But I think SQ is, you know, like we saw in the Testament mirror earlier, I feel like game one, you have to establish what your game plan is going to be against the rapid TPs, whether it's stalling out in the air or, you know, TPing to try and escape the corner. If you don't have an option that's covering both of those, or if you know, aren't making good reads on whether Fubuki is trying to air stall or trying to, you know, commit to escaping the corner, it's going to be rough to try and nail them down.
Yeah, and we did see a little bit of a scramble in some of those teleport situations that you're referencing too. Just SQ, she would sit right on top of that teleport location and just did not get rewarded for it, right? But at the very least, you're buying yourself some time to go for some sword tosses for corner position. Right now, you just get the steamroll because you have positive bonus, push back in the corner.
Diagonal sword toss, all the swords set in the stone, so it's the lowest damage Mortabato you could have, but we'll still take the hard knockdown. BRC sword toss for it too. Someone needs to explain to me why sword toss is level 4 projectile. They thought about level 5 and they were like, maybe that's too strong. Let's hit it with the Grave Reaper. Caught up with the Arbiter sign as well in the corner here, so a good chunk of damage already out of SQ.
Jeez, nice. Extended the airtime here. Oh, but this is the tap does.
too far. Still looks like we saw the stand from Fubuki, but I can barely tell behind all of those swords. But the Scythe is going to do the job. The 6H. We charge up Reaper.
Oh, wow. Nice throw.
Okay. Tie up the rounds here. Fubuki trying to stay alive. We've been seeing a lot of super jump back. I feel like that's been almost every round start here from Fubuki. Maybe just trying to avoid the /5H and fine with giving up, you know, the button-to-button interaction.
Down. Good lord. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Testament is not one of these characters that we think of when we think, oh, okay, what is emblematic of a short and quick strive round? But the way that SYMPHUUKAI and the way that Fubuki are able to just, you know, sequence into these resets that make the opponent feel like, oh, I can barely tell where I'm at. Oh, I don't have stay in state. I'm probably okay off of this next knockdown. Wait, how did they teleport behind me? Like, I didn't even see the succubus because we were off screen launched by the 6H. Like, it can be a lot faster than we imagined.
It's insane to see those types of conversions come from Fubuki. I mean, just making this character just 100% just like either rush down or zoning, whatever you need the occasion to be, Fubuki has a solution. All right.
Oh, yeah, tried to air stall, but gets caught up by the delay of the explosion. YRC out.
At very least, we have this lead. We're still fighting away from this wall here. Nice 6P.
Here we go. Do we TP again? No, we just go for the claim on the stay in state. Do something out. I like the ID back JS to try and catch the TP, but instead nothing found. SQ with the windshield wipers.
Nice. All right, so not even here in hell. Ooh, a little bit of a step back retreat, but the Arbiter sign will connect. This 3 overhead Arbiter signs that came through. The crush and opened up. Got the explosion here. Final burst.
Yeah, me personally, I'm mashing burst as soon as it comes back up too. I don't care if I get baited. I need to try and fight for my life. But because we didn't have the sword back up, the 5H didn't even reach the clash on the JP.
With on extra airtime here, and we're trying to just play the zoning war. SQ with the final touch, but the flip connects Red RC for a full conversion. She will steal this round.
We dodge the high, we dodge the low, and we thread the needle with the flip kick to go straight through the Arbiter sign. SQ a round up in such a scary situation and confirms with the RC. Now we got sword explosion. Once again, we've seen so many of these rounds before where positive bonus determines the outcome of the round. 6P still challenges.
Yeah, 6P full screen. That was lingering for quite a bit here for SQ, but she's still got 100 meter. Mortal Bato just to honestly maintain that corner. She doesn't want to get bursted away. Here's the wild assault for Fubuki to fight back out of the corner.
There we go. Standing on the seals, you've been seeing this a lot from Testament's opponents, just trying to make sure that we threaten that TP. It gave Fubuki a little bit of room, but there's only so much that you can do when you're up in the skies trying to bait out your opponent. All you have is Grave Reaper. You can't send out the Crow to threaten Stain State, so they're, you know, if they see you falling, that's so much tempo that you're losing as they're aggressing on you and putting you back into the corner.
Yeah, it's so, you know, we've seen Testaments really trying to figure out how to play that zoning game, but I really think, again, like Fubuki has kind of embraced the multiple tools that this character has to be successful, but you also have to think about, as you're mentioning, just the constant pressure coming from a character like Ramlethal, where there's a lot more to worry about on the screen in terms of I do a sword toss, that guard crushes, that buys me a little less time to try to interact back, and I have to worry about the explosion after the fact. Fubuki trying their best to try to navigate, but once you get pushed back in this corner, you begin the cycle anew. There's the rock.
Alright, Rekka Super, once again, the chew through 60%. SQ no burst to her name, but she spent that and gets it all the way right back with that wild assault. Boom!
Alright, guard crush here. Tap does. Good block here from Fubuki. But that will be all you row for at least this round here. SQ, she's on match point right now.
Alright, again, super jump back. It's been working every time for Fubuki, at least to try and hedge some bets on the round start. SQ trying to look for a super jump of her own, but not committing to an air button to bring her back down.
Go for a shattered ice. Oh my goodness, look at the damage output for that one here. Fubuki with a strong lead. Nice 2K, the stain allowing for this hit.
6H, a clean speed run of a round. That perfect from Fubuki, but it's still set point SQ.
Be careful, not going to get whip punish there for the far slash attempt. JH, nice. Actually, jumping with SQ is a great call here. You're above that hurt box with the JH. Watch the crush. Able to teleport. Don't you forget about the succubus behind you. SQ, she was so good at calling out those escape options, but this time around getting called out by one.
2S, 5H. Looking for something. TP back with the Arbiter side. Damn! If you got that pickup off of the 5K, that could have been close to lethal here. Speaking of the pickup off the 5K, the little leggy to stay alive. It's the Strovia. It's 6H, but it's still not enough with a scaled starter.
Here we go. Guard cancel away.
I'm in.
Now that final Arbiter side to come through, and I almost feel like, honestly, SQ already sees the finish line right before her eyes, but she's not already crossed it, right? She's kind of resting on her laurels a little bit here in that final sequence because we've already forgotten the fact that this is the escape route that Fubuki likes to take, right? She, for a brief moment, let that succubus teleport happen and got called out for it. When she tried to press the offense, she saw that Fubuki was so close at death's door to try to get that victory into that grand finals position again. Unfortunately, it slipped right through her clutches here. Fubuki taking it the distance here. 2-all in the set.
And up against the wall once again. It's positive bonus. We've seen this so many times before from SQ. Just absolutely rampant with the PRC sword toss and now caught on the diagonal once again. She still has meter for the Mortabato. Even after the spend early on into the round, that positive bonus just enables such a tricky way to try and find any footing in neutral. Fubuki now once again up against the wall with SQ on set point.
Here we go, 6P. Actually, full conversion there with the explosion off the sword.
To go for a big stagger off of that H Grave Reaper 6H. I imagine we're looking for a backdash or a jump back, but nothing to be found. Flip kick. Okay, it brought you back out of mid-screen. That's the most fortunate thing that you can get off of that hit.
Nice. Try to get the JS there. Low Arbiter. Juggle with the high.
Such an active defense right now from Fubuki. It's scary when you have that meter just a whiff off of the flip kick, but built it up once again. We're stuck in the corner off the YRC. Didn't get baited.
But you don't have a sword to support you there.
Yeah. This is actually really good for Fubuki. Still has a lot of time to try and stall things out. Gotta watch out for the 2H, but it's not enough. He didn't get the Arbiter side for the kill, but we got the 2K to catch the flip kick on the way down. The final round of Losers Finals.
At the very least, that last few moments there was just to build up burst gauge for this final round, but of course 6P to call out the far slash. Blocking on overhead. Watch the approach. 6P. Fishing for it here. Nice.
Tricky off the machine gun. Yeah, no, you're looking for that TP, the 2K, just to try and stop a preemptive approach, but caught out with the 6-speed, the immediate wild assault confirmed, and we're back in the blender for SQ. Ooh, double tap, the 2K, the dash cancel, BRC. Fuzzy is a threat, but it's YRC to escape the rock situation. Finally throwing a little bit of paper, the air stall, the TP, but caught out with JP.
JH, there's still a burst available here on the side of Fubuki. Will finally spend in those last moments.
The longest delay I've ever seen. Next hit generates burst for SQ as well. How long do we want to hold on? Finds a guaranteed burst point off of the 5K 2H.
Was lingering in the sky here. She just got back her swords. See us, we're chasing things now. Gotta be careful. Sitting right underneath the teleport. Sword toss. That's one down. Nice.
Found a negative penalty. But we're not fine with the diagonal sword toss. The counter hit on the other side, just waiting out the TP. Fubuki looking for one last hit, but SQ seals your fate. It's third place for our final testament here as SQ moves back on for the run back in grand finals.
Drive bracket.
Let's see it. The run back of that winners finals, which was so down to the wire. A heartbreaker of an ending where SQ had a set ending blood rage punish, but just didn't look at the bar in time. So let's see if we can swap it up here. SQ has to win twice before Hotashi is able to take a single first to three.
Backing off here. Fukio forward. Playing risky business here with this blood gauge.
Pretty high on the blood. Really not much you can do in mid-screen. Again, it's that side swap with the flip kick.
Just got that 2K here. Nice backdash away. Just outside the range of the heavy slash. And speaking of heavy slash, that's going to be SQs that connects.
Heavily slashing on through with the windshield wiper. Now we got positive bonus. It'll be a while until we have that 50%. Actually, you know, taking damage built up quite a bit of meter for you, but at what cost? We have YRC available!
Unfortunate with the $40 contribution, which is very fortunate here. That puts us at 140.50 cents in the match. Reno, thank you so much.
That part of the overlay, like labeling Hotashi as he blood raged, it could not have been timed better. I'm not gonna lie. Thanks for the generosity. And thanks for the meter, SQ is saying as she gets his positive bonus once again. Oh, brother.
Right on the cusp of victory is SQ, but Hotashi with the very explosive Beyblade chasing SQ into the skies. Blocking one. Good read there, the IB. But the burst will get called out here in the first game for SQ.
Yeah, went for the immediate burst again. The layers of the minigame, sometimes you got to go back to the immediate burst out, but all right, SQ. One game closer to the reset, which is one game closer to taking it home. But again, you gotta be afraid. Those games that Hotashi was able to take over in the winners finals were absolute speedruns. And we say this of Ramlethal rounds as well. Oh, we get positive bonus and then it's a 1 or 2 touch situation. When Hotashi, you know, when he's firing on all cylinders, it's legitimate 10 to 15 second rounds back to back.
Oh yeah, it's pretty terrifying once Hotashi starts to go all in. And it's very high risk, but high reward when we do get to see Hotashi in that state. SQ, she's going to have to try to hold her own against that state from Hotashi if we do start to see it here, which honestly great start to call out that Fukio back. Oh no.
Send it, Fukio blown.
What we did see in the winners finals quite a bit here from SQ was the fact that she was going for jump back slash quite often against Hotashi here. Not quite seen that yet. But also there's some inherent risk involved in trying to go for that routing here. Of course, if Hotashi makes a solid call, close slash can really kind of shut things down here on pre-jump frames.
20 seconds on the board. We had so much blood that, you know, that 2S reaches so far. And like you mentioned, so fast as well for the range that you have. But all right, SQ strikes back.
Oh no, not calling out the super this time around.
Damn, JD behind the back. We got the counter hit too, but we just barely didn't build up the 50 for it. So off of the Dauro, you can't Wild Assault, but we can Mortabato off of the next hit.
Slash, another one here. Big counter hit opportunity as Hotashi about to build up enough burst. Trying to walk this down and try to avoid rock by sending Beyblade.
Caught right at the, you know, tip of the start up there.
Oh no!
Just a little bit too far for the 6H to connect. Definitely would have been enough damage, but it's not enough. But we bust out with the Beyblade. It's 1-1.
What was crazy is that was startup of windshield wipers coming from SQ.
Yes, yeah.
And we have meter to back it up, so that would have been a full conversion if we got the hit. A massive counter hit at that, but Beyblade to let it rip a little bit faster. And a cheap victory here for Hotashi.
All right, ready, up, and back at the stand. You know, sometimes when Hotashi, you know, takes a game loss, he's like, let me solve the music, let me take a deep breath, let me reassess. And it's funny that, you know, SQ, as someone who is known to take these breaths and reset, you know, offline. Online, she's like, nah, let's keep it going. I'm trying to keep this momentum up.
Absolutely, she goes right into it. GS on the approach. Look at the low 6H and already a substantial lead for Hotashi with the tap dust RC.
Back down to the ground. The 6-8 reaches and it's lethal too.
Let's pick up here. Already going to get a positive bonus for this. But with the raise
Blood
no
rage
left.
set up. No, that's a crucial drop. You could have gotten so much more damage. It would have built up the 50 for the Zansetsu. Wait a damn minute. SQ might just bring it back off of what was such a rough start to the round.
Hotashi flying a little bit too close to the sun for that sequence there.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
5K round start. Very interesting for a Nagoriyuki round start, actually.
Yeah, used to be one of these god buttons, still pretty solid, but you know, a shadow of its former self when it used to be so damn good. But looking for 2S after the wall break here, nothing to be found as SQ just pulls up with the walk back.
Still got the stagger low. And strong lead for SQ. She's just one touch away from victory here. Ooh, tries to go burst run. DP. No burst and missing the 6H. That's a round and a game. 2-1 lead right now for SQ.
Yeah, you had all the blood in the world to work with, but because you were so low on the blood level, that 6H doesn't have the range that you need to connect at that, you know, spacing. So SQ now 1 game closer and 1 game away from the reset.
Okay. Going back into the field of battle here. Do we get that reset from SQ? And does Hotashi? Honestly, what really sucked, like you said, just dropping out of that corner for the Blood Punish combo. Like, that was second time dropping out here. Small blunder, but it led to a big achievement there for SQ at the very least. Sitting pretty good right now with a couple more chances in this grand finals.
Okay, the immediate jump over on the 2S. Not too much gained here from Hotashi, but you gained a lot of space. Just the fact that that burst is down, so now you don't even have to worry about Wild Assault. That's already such a big win for Hotashi.
Yeah,
that could have did a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, it sure did. But look at how much blood level we do have, so we have an extended heavy slash, getting that counter hit.
Damn. Okay. Maybe went for a late JH that threatened the throw, but ended up getting back thrown for it. The walks up, close slash, just gets Mortabato through. You had RC behind it too. It was perfectly safe.
Side here as we get the DP to start things off. Nice carry. We're going for. It's the rage. You drop this, Hotashi? No, we got it this time. Just got the safe with the close slash.
Mask back on. Oh, but no chain shift is going to save you here.
Let's have a 100-meter on the side of Hotashi. Ooh, 2D, not going to work. And there's the far slash. Massive counter hit to take the round. And, yo, wait, reset.
Go. SK coming back from the loser's side, trying to take what's hers. She was so close to that grand finals winner's side, but now bringing Hotashi back down into this losers. We have one more set for the evening.
Potato saying Hotashi's
gonna
final
win,
form.
but it specifies who is going to win the tournament. So you're betting on either SQ resetting and winning or Hotashi taking it home. So you're betting on, you know, the last one, potential 2 sets. So you gotta wait for your payout here as we go into this grand finals reset. Zeros on the board. One more set to our name as SQ pulls up with the block string here. Nothing too much found off this Wild Assault.
Wait, when did I get on the board? How did I do that?
You're on there both sides, actually. You're represented now.
Oh no. All right, backing off. Nice. Look at that extended range of the 2H. Okay, 2D and Fukio back for 2S, but look at the range we have here with the heavy.
5K just caught out with the... We saw the after image, and no, he just got sniped out by Mortabato. I imagine that was like a fast RC.
Yeah, it was supposed to be RC right there. It had the blue blur, as it were.
Okay, Tickler off with the 5P, looking for something off the 6K.
Oh, missed the air throw.
JH behind the back. Look at the blood. Okay. Daro launch. We're still so far away on the meter. Just wait for the blood pop to do the job. Okay.
Look, if Hotashi's going to do the work for you, who are you to just deny Hotashi that right?
It's true. All right, back on into it.
To be fair, there is $140 online, so I can understand you.
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
They cannot.
Take your time. Maybe put the music back on.
Oh my goodness. The cross under! 12 p.m. comes to V. Well, thanks for watching wherever you're at if it's 12 p.m.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Middle of the day, high noon. Now we're going full circle on the windshield wipers. Once again, it's a clean confirm. I really thought that was the kill.
We're building up to it here. Another sword toss. Rock smash.
202. Let's rock.
See, unfortunate, we live in the future over here. I've lived in the past before. It's a different lifestyle. Club slash here. Still pressuring for a little bit longer. I mean, I was wondering how far that blood rage is going to go. We still have the RC almost achieving victory, returning the favor that SQ had done for that first round.
I really thought that 6H was going to kill. I'm going to be for real. But the Beyblade is going to do the job. We're tied up on the rounds.
Someone from Finland, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for stopping on by. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we're at a pretty high blood level, which, wait. Okay, just barely didn't pop. I was really good. I was really thinking. Pixel away.
The flow wasn't there, but SQ, she's entered her own flow state with the Mortal Bato finish. 2-0 in this Grand Finals reset.
There we go. I mean, she's got that loser's momentum. She knew that she was so close in the winner's final side, but she's staking her claim with what might be quite the commanding victory post-reset if Hotashi's not able to stop the bleeding.
Right. So, did SQ reset yet? Oh, boy.
Oh, reset and then some.
We're well into it.
Mankind knew that they cannot.
What is potentially tournament point for SQ here?
Themselves. Duel 1.
I was actually going to say, that would have been the first intro we've watched the entire evening, but they were like, now we're going back into it. Game number 3.
Here we go. Car Crush does unfortunately tech out there, tries to sneak in a throw. And Hotashi gonna try the BSU, but quite the reversal from SQ. A massive gamble that pays off.
Dash cancel confirm off the rock as well. BRC trying to look for the quick overhead, but ends up whiffing. And the sword toss to SQ. Now on set tournament point.
Yeah, all of them.
It's set, it's game, it's round, but here we go. Hotashi just slashing on through again, trying to stop the bleeding. We get a little bit of that blood gauge back off the 6H, but it's an awkward blood level to be right now, and really awkward now that we're stuck in the corner. Just barely not enough for Mortal Bato.
There it is. Lift off here, does have 50% for another positive bonus cycle. Oh, just goes for the Rekka series, already committed.
Yeah, I guess just wanted to save it for the PRC sword toss.
No way!
Okay, we get another wall break. It didn't quite kill. It's super for super. The BRC back. 6-speed brings you back down to earth. And now we're looking for White Wild Assault here, just trying to catch out the jump, but a little bit too late to catch that pre-jump frame.
Heavy Mortal Bato. No, you don't have the meter! Thought that there was another press here coming from Hotashi, who survives.
Swapped and swiped, looking for something with that Beyblade, but instead, the take to the sky, the JK on the way back down, a soft knockdown for SQ.
Pulls it back, 6H, going for Shatter off the Mortal Bato. It's a 2S. Hotashi has burst and doesn't get to use it. Immediate spend on Super, that is it! 3-0 victory in the reset for SQ, taking TNS.